Well,
of that.
Let's talk about Astralis then. What have we learned about Astralis this week? Glaver's back to calling again. If he buys the Negev, it's not his masterminded game plan. It is actually just simply a misbuy. And Magist is able to focus on being a superstar who can take any number of enemies down. Do you think we're back to Astralis full strength yet, Scrawny?
I think we're getting there. I mean, it's going to be a few more reps before we can kind of believe in like the level of consistency we used to get from them. But it's very obvious that they're reaching back to their ceiling. You know, we saw the same Zipniks in the clutch. We saw Magisk yesterday, so crucial versus G2. Even in overtime, like he literally won clutches back to back. Yeah, I think we are starting to get the Astralis we lost once upon a time.
Here's, again, going back to Gambit quickly, why I am thinking it's going to be even. No, I am contractually obligated to predict Astralis. But, so, on Inferno, which is meant to be one of Astralis' best maps, right? They were really challenged in that second half when G2's individuals came on form. So if Gambit's individuals come on form and they can play separately, they can play as a team. You really don't think it matters?
Not on Inferno, no.
Really?
Look at how Cloud9 lost that last game. It was dying to nades every single round. Like, yeah, that's where you really separate who's good. It's just how good you are on the map when it comes to the grenades. They beat Cloud9, but Cloud9 are not a solid Inferno team yet. They've won, I think, one of their 4 matches that they played on it. So there's just asterisks there. They still might want to come to it, but if they can beat like Astralis on Inferno, that'll say a lot. G2, they play against Astralis on Inferno every week.
Yeah, to be fair, that's Gambit's weak spot, is their Inferno. Their B-hold can sometimes look a little bit shaky at times. The Hobbit, sometimes he's left there on his own, and they're not necessarily contesting Banana as much as they should. They're not denying that map control that they need to. However, if we go to Vertigo, I think that's going to be super interesting because this is the map that they beat Cloud9 on initially, and we've now seen that Astralis are feeling very confident about their own Vertigo, and they're also thriving in that chaos on their T side. They are teasing pushes on the ramp. They're heading off. They're getting themselves a coffee. 30 seconds later, they're like, actually, you know what? We will go ramp. So I think if it comes down to Vertigo, what should we expect from Astralis?
Yeah, that'll be a cool one. They had a close bout of it versus Cloud9, who's Vertigo. It seemed like they want to play it kind of, but they've been kind of losing. They lost to Mouse on it. They lost to Astralis narrowly, and I think they have a 3rd loss as well. So there's something there. But yeah, what we saw was really promising stuff on the T side. It was such a deep game, hard to follow for Astralis.
Well, let's check in with Glaive. I can't do the eye thing because I'm clearly not clever enough. Let's see what he had to say about yesterday's match and this one.
Of course, I think G2 is a really good team, but it just feels like that we won a lot of rounds that we maybe should not have won. In the end, we won in overtime. Mag is back to his old role. He did great, and yeah, I'm just happy that the team did good today.
Flashbang starts around the corners, Magisk talks to the box, and Zipnik starts to spray. It's Magic working wonders in overtime.
We're starting to getting used to getting into quarterfinals. Now we just need to progress from here. Let's not go out with a bang from the quarterfinal again. We're going up against a team which is going to be a tough opponent. So I'm looking forward to play the quarterfinals, but I'm happy that we managed to do this, especially me coming back as the main in-game leader.
Device though, he has their back turned and they line up. He shaves Nap off of the play. He's got 58 health left over. We saw Twist with some sick clutches on Vertigo, but he's already got no gun out, and that is an easy pickup for Device.
Going up against Gambit in the quarterfinal, it's of course going to be a very tough match because they have played really good the last few games. Actually, they have just insane win rate on all of their map. So I'm looking forward to play against them, see how they play, and I know that they have great individual players and they also have good tactics. So yeah, I know that we have to bring our A game to beat them right now because they're looking so sharp. So I'm looking forward to the quarterfinal.
No, I still can't do it. I think we're going to have to ask him in the post-match interview. We've got to go super fast into our map veto. Astralis, they ban Mirage. Gambit ban Nuke. Astralis are probably going to pick Inferno, and Gambit need to think about Astralis' weaknesses here because they both have 6 Vertigo. Strong map calls.
Yes.
Vertigo. Yep, overpass left. Yep. Okay.
That's very cool.
I'm really, really happy about this one, boys. I'm so excited that we get to start on Vertigo because Astralis are doing exciting things. Launders needs more time to unpick what Astralis are bringing to this map because it's incredibly complicated. This is DreamHack Masters Winter. We're into our third quarterfinal of the day, and it's Astralis versus Gambit. Yes, Gambit may be underdogs according to Launders, but they are going to bring so much fight to the opening map of Vertigo. And before we get into it, we've got a little bit of an update, because we now know the Mousesports are going to be facing Godsent in the semi-finals tomorrow. And I mean, you surprised, right?
Yeah. I mean, I thought Godsent were making a nice little run through the bracket. I think that Godsent versus North is the reason we see them in the playoffs. You know, and that lower bracket game kind of had an asterisk next to it just because Astralis was there too. Did not expect to see them move on in the playoffs.
Well, we're going to head into this map now, but Launders, you're right about Emmy.
Emmy goated. He didn't do too great in that series, but they got the W. Only score that matters is the one at the top. That's what you got to remember. This would be such a big series for Gambit for a couple of reasons. They beat Navi twice, I believe, on their way up in this 20 or 18 or whatever it is map win streak. But they have 0 tier 1 wins on both Inferno and Vertigo. The only team that they beat that could potentially be called tier 1 is Cloud9. So Astralis should be a cut above in terms of competition, and we'll see how prepared and ready they are to take down these giants. We've got one of the sandbags played. He's going to catch one off cards. Hero with a whip back takes that instant duel.
Good recovery. We saw Astralis with a lot of counterplay versus Liquid on Vertigo. They were able to deny multiple bomb plant positions. Like, this is just a well-prepped Astralis. Vertigo, one of their maps where can overwhelm opponents despite their best efforts. Gambit walking up, finding a bomb plant, finding nothing thereafter. Astralis will win first pistol.
Just some good nades here from Astralis. Plant goes down, which is nice for Gambit, and they avoid getting double naded on the plant, which is great for them coming into this next round. But yeah, this is pretty much that. From behind the smokes, they do a lot of the effort with some well-placed utility. And now the buy-up is going to be Shiro on an AK, and everybody else just evening out. It looks like Nafany's the one to invest for Shiro. What a guy.
I've got a little fact for you guys, courtesy of the amazing Mark Winther from the DreamHack team. The coaches in Astralis and Gambit used to duke it out in CS 1.6.
Oh.
Groove for Gambit, and of course,
yeah,
Zonic. Yeah, Groove used to play for Virtus Pro.
Really cool. Well, that's awesome. And it seems like he must be, quite the coach. So cool to have a story like Gambit going from Gambit youngsters to just becoming the main roster. That's the dream situation for these orgs that start these development rosters. And I mean, could it have worked out better? Didn't even have to make a roster move. That's how strong they are.
I also like the fact that in this team, of course, we still have Hobbit.
Yeah.
The original Gambit, right?
Definitely.
Like when Gambit was a top tier team, when Gambit were winning majors, Hobbit looked like one of the best players to come out of Kazakhstan. And I think that still reigns true. Obviously, with the transitions that happened all around him, it's understandable that we haven't really heard from him as of late.
When they arrived after winning that major at the airport, they were greeted by the Prime Minister or the President, whoever it is, of Kazakhstan at the airport. And to congratulate them for their win. How amazing is that?
Talk about feeling like heroes. And they were. Tremendous victory that
Love this storyline. The third X-Men.
Yeah, the one nobody expected.
Yeah.
First team to beat the Colossus and the Juggernaut.
Are they going to get away with this twice?
No, he's going to get wrecked by the Deagle. That one AK comes in with 3 kills. Shiro taking it all on his own. And Dupree, well, he's just been tagged up from the back, so now he knows Hobbit's behind him and knows Interest was taking the position away from his teammate. He does a little bit more chip damage. Dupree opting to go aggressive, trying to cut this player out from his cover, but because of the timing, Inter's on high alert, can't do much about it. Glocks out, shots landing. Dupree closing the distance, back in with the 10-second stick, but Hobbit calls it out, and Gambit used that one AK to take back round 2.
Some great trades, and that Deagle rundown on the sandbag, Zipic standing there twice. It looked like they were going to avoid him, but very smart to go ahead and clear that angle. And yeah, Shiro, these wicked fast trades. We talk about him, and this is only on the AK. Wait till he gets up on the op. That's the really scary version of Shiro that we'll see soon.
Just because this game had to get started, we didn't get a chance for our predictions to be locked in. And Frank, you've been talking a big Gambit game. I want to know the official lock.
Oh, yeah.
The official lock for me is Astralis, because if I don't say Astralis, you won't get your hands.
Oh, it's not for us. I mean, we got our own predictions, Frankie. Go ahead.
Don't make me the reason.
You can say that you predict Gambit. It's fine.
Would you like to change your mind?
Go ahead.
Final shot.
No, I'm not going to change my mind, but I do want people to appreciate that Gambit. They're not just some like fluky underdog team that came in and won because they surprised people. Nope. They won because they deserve to be here. They put the work in, and they're one of the teams we should be watching for the future.
Yeah, they've got a 16-5 twice versus Complexity and a 16-6 versus Cloud9 as well. You are dead on, Frankie. And so are Gambit. Dead on within this A site. Every single kill with not a tidbit of damage going back the other way. Gambit, very strong showing on this A site to deal with what was a pesky Astralis. Mohan, official prediction.
Astralis 2-0.
What's yours?
Gambit are going to lose.
How dare you?
My heart! I think this is going to be a real hands-full match, though, for Astralis. I'm glad that you keep reiterating all those strong points. They have so much momentum, but it's just we haven't seen them versus the Tier 1 caliber of teams. This is their test, and oh, is it ever a hard one.
Complexity wins were the big one. Even more legitimate than the Cloud9 victories, but they weren't on Inferno or on Vertigo either. Again, they have a huge win percentages, but 0 Tier 1 wins. So this is the one that they care about solely, pretty much. It's the one that really should earn you a lot of respect. On the other maps that they beat Complexity on, well, those maps, those are solid. But it says a lot about Gambit willing to pick into Vertigo at this moment. Wow, very good damage. How do you do that with 3 bullets right into the top of Nafany's shoulders?
Is this USP unsilenced? Can we go back to that?
What?
A device standing behind the call. Oh no, I guess the silencer just it blended in with the pillar. I thought he had taken the silencer off so that maybe it was shorter, but don't mind me. Hobbit could be adding a kill to the tally alongside Axile. Nice Mac 10 control. Damn. Gambit making the absolute most of these weapons versus Astralis. Another round where they keep 5 players alive, assuming Dupree goes down empty-handed.
Dupree looked like he was primed for the clutch in that last round, but it was played really well by the 2 remaining players of Gambit. Almost was able to get the last kill and defuse, but now him and his whole team have been relegated to just USPs, and of course that eco from Gambit, or the force up, the reason that they're put here in the first place. Money's looking good here for Gambit. 4 alive, as Dupree tries to do a little bit more damage, and he won't get Shiro down low enough to die to the bomb. Everybody else survives, and they are up 3-1. A buy will come in here for Astralis. There's a lot of money left in the bank here for Gambit, and so far, what's been very good is them avoiding utility damage on the A ramp as part of their default. So we'll see what kind of mode of aggression Astralis will try to bring into this round here on CT side.
Made immediately down the ramp. You have Shiro back here off in hand. And for the time being, Device not with one. And we saw some very stellar opping from Device versus Team Liquid when they faced off on Vertigo just a couple of days ago.
Interesting.
Device going to be behind these mid sandbags, welcoming the peek through middle, and sure enough, it's Hobbit and Inters. Both go down.
I was wondering if you had any support there. Dupree from up top. Now back into the B site. Nafany comes up on the A ramp. He's quite low due to some of that utility damage from early on. Looking for a key frag glaive. He'll eat a bit of damage. Got a teammate here to join him. Bomb is slowly making his way back up the ramp as well. Shiro up on the op. What we want to see.
Peek from the bottom of the ramp right now. Yep, Device finds timing. Takes an extra player down. Nafany, 18 health as he escapes the spread of the Molotov. Bit of a drawn out gunfight. Axile can't best Magisk. Nafany's got 4 players ahead of him, and his shot's also off the mark. A second round for Astralis the moment they have guns.
Very tense moment here in this kind of feel-out period. Both teams meeting each other for the very first time. An early timeout call from Gambit. You love to see it. They've got enough money to buy, and they can kind of, the world is their oyster, really. They can try anything new, whatever they wanted to bring into this match to attempt versus Astralis. Of course, I think when you slow it down, this is when the edge goes even farther towards Astralis. They've got to be very careful about how long they want these rounds to be drawn out to.
The new Astralis, that should definitely have a question mark, Elliot. Gambit had the best round win percentage in 5v4s and 4v5s, the multi-kill rate and trading percentages at the tournament. There we go, an exclamation mark, even better.
Incredible dominance versus their 2 opponents in Complexity and Cloud9. I would like to offer to the 2 of you, the 3 of us, here's what it is. There's one abort button on the desk. One of us can push it.
Why are we doing this?
One of them can push it if you want to change your prediction at the final moment. But once one person takes it, the others can.
At the final moment?
Whenever you want to.
What do you mean whenever you want to?
Whenever you want to in this series. If you feel like Gambit's going to take it.
Is this some kind of like safe word?
What is the point? I don't understand.
Just to see.
All right.
See if anybody abandoned ship. See if you doubt Astralis. Because in that last round, things looked real strong.
Maybe we just focus on the game.
We could do that too. Nafty finding a short kill and an additional one. 3 kills from him, working up ramp. If you contrast that to the last time we had the ramp play from Gambit, absolute polar opposite. Device is just going to try and create an escape route. Do they want to take it? Dupree getting a little bit back closer to the site. Nafty really making the difference in this one.
Hobbit clean kill. Nafany taking the round into his own hands coming up the A ramp. And they do play it a little bit faster here. I think this is a wise choice by Gambit. Again, in those mid rounds is when Astralis got very, very tricky. And Gambit decide not to leave anything up for question. So we see the row of defuse kits across the board. He doesn't actually get on the bomb to pull them back, just to smoke, but make sure, I guess, he wants to make sure he stays alive. I don't think he tapped that. That wasn't an animation issue, right? He just didn't. Yeah, just didn't reach it, I guess. I wonder if he could have actually. Is there a chance that he could have actually stopped that? That was a little bit weird. Yeah, here are all the kills. Killing them before the smokes go down. See, they're doing deep smokes on the site and trading out, putting pressure on Astralis to set up in a brand new way. Sometimes getting those smokes down as a wall on the site and then nading from behind them can just give the CTs too much of an advantage. Magis down to a Deagle and down to 5 HP, 5-6 HP here.
Nafany looking to slip around through short. Currently, Astralis a little busy with the nades. 2 players line up, rifle included there. Magisk will get one over top of it, but it's Exile. Double kill to clear out what was the A defense. Glaive moves over. Maybe a parting gift, perhaps? Not even. Gambit, very strong start to these A site hits. It went dry the first time, but now things are working out in their favor. They've got a 3-round lead versus Astralis as the Danes buy back.
Push the button, Launders.
There's no button. He threw it across the room.
Eva.
No op in play here except for Shiro's, of course. So Astralis, what are they going to do? So Dupree's favorite piece of the map, the half wall, the wood wall over on the B side.
Sipnik's on short. It's going to be a key piece to this.
Oh, there's a put. That's a push, yeah.
Nice timing. Moves beyond the Molotov. He's got these other 2 CTs stuck in the shelf. Zipnix fights back.
Still, nice timing on that. That's a big opening. So much damage here on Zipix. Hobbeck will refresh a position here. There's so much information gained from Gambit up the A ramp as they turn the corner, shoving Glaive back into the site.
Just gonna try and retain a little bit of forward positioning here. Enters, goes beyond. Nice double kill from Magisk. Shuts down the bomb carrier. Doesn't know if his flank's occupied, but Shiro's gonna swap to the sidearm. Device off of that CT shelf.
The cover
gives him what he needs, and now it's on Hobbit. Finds one. Top box down. Bomb though. That's still the issue. And Hobbit, he's got time to milk this. He's got Dupree doubling back into the elevator room. The smoke on the bomb site's going to begin to fade. Hobbit has flashes if he wants to use it to his own accord. Device is standing in the open, and that's a duel that Hobbit could have easily won. But a little caught off by such an awkward position. Device recovers the shot. Astralis recover a round, but it's still 2 for Gambit.
These kills, man. They even let go of his mouse 1 to reset for that second frag, and he was quite low. That was a really good start for Gambit to get the opening kill to come through around the ramp.
Nafany has taken the highest percentage of opening duels at the event. To put that into context, Art is also at this event.
Nafany putting himself way out there, and we saw how that worked. Up to the sandbags, turned the corner as soon as he felt like it was time to activate, and has the IGL making himself a focal point of these rounds. 9 kills for Nafany already. A really good beginning. Astralis nearly lost that round if not for Magisk, and then of course the really good rotation from Device to save him in those final moments. But still, they put on a real test. Money's still good here for a Gambit. Device gets tagged down. loses a chance here, I think, on the A ramp versus Shiro. But staying alive is, of course, the small victory.
Seen Device give good overwatch to his teammates. Stays on that back CT shelf, makes it a very difficult endeavor to try and find footing up the ramp. Dupree decides to go for a more proactive flank. He could find a couple of players. Axile was holding him in position, but now they've both left. This is very much numbers for Gambit, heading to the A site, where they have found success. And this rests on the weak knees of a wounded Device and a lesser weapon Zipnix. Now he's going to round that corner. Close eagle kill. This is a call out and aggression that works wonderfully. Matches with another double kill, but a chance to bounce back. They're both half health and Device still low. 40 seconds to go. And Gambit very much stuttering out on this ramp. And Dupree, well, he has to contemplate coming in for this flank, but you can see them on high alert. He takes the fight versus the player in the distance. And Shiro could make the difference, as all of a sudden he tucks tail coming over to this B bomb site as Nafany is still on A. He doubles back. He doubles back to the A site and Device is left on the opposite side of the map with nothing to offer. Gambit clawing it away in the 2 versus 4.
And they call it out. Device, he gets out of there, and they keep one on the A site. Thought this was a situation where if they were low enough on time, it would have been a risk. 4 seconds left after the bomb goes down, and Device has to save. That is so strong. Dupree, he catches this timing where he has a perfect flank, and he's been playing so smart so far to come close in that clutch. We saw, you know, how aware he was, but in that moment, like, of course you're going to take the opportunity on the player farther back, but he didn't realize Shiro was still there checking the flank from a different angle. Peak wasn't tight enough. Nafany and Shiro, they'll keep on to the AKs. I think there's an op here, yeah. Okay, so we have the upgrade right away. And it's Astralis who have to save. Okay, and we're taking a look at some of the opening kills at the turn of the ramp. And these were 2 frags that came back after Astralis had it to a 4v2. They brought it to the 2v2, they caught the flank, and then they won the round there on out, from there on out. So the initial aggression from Astralis, it pays off, but they can't continue it and stay alive with the 2 players who put themselves out there. Device has the 1 op on the round. Last one was half a force, with the 1 concession in the Deagle. Gambit looked to keep the pressure high, this time testing B. A good opportunity to do it.
Perfect timing. No utility to stop them, not even any upgraded pistols, so they'll find barely any resistance. Although the little resistance that is here does still do bigger damage than it should have. We've got a couple of the pieces of Gambit low health, but Device's op never really being given its chance to shine. And even if he topples one here in the post plant, so be it. I feel like he just needs to ensure his safety. Guarantee the escape. Seven rounds for Gambit on this T side. Good to know they can charge into the B site. Whether or not they would do that versus rifles is still a question we have to ask, whether or not they need to.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea just to use it on rounds like this, on low guns. Keep your stronger rounds mainly towards A. Not often Astralis are going to try to stack towards B, so I think it's very smart. Anti-eco towards B, put pressure here. Device, they know he's opping down the ramp quite often, and Astralis will have to buy up, and this is where we'll have to see. Are they learning from what's happening? Gambit are keeping up at every single turn.
Glave's going to get aggressive. Sometimes this is a key move from him, but the fallback, ooh, not going to be clawed back. Shiro misses the shot. Glaive takes the chance to escape. Man advantage for Astralis. Still looking to finish this half with a lead, but they've got to stop Gambit here and now.
Damn you with the wall bang. some residual damage from the HP. Frank, you brought up that their win conversion went down on players. It almost didn't matter. They were always able to find a way back into a round. Shiro seems like a huge part of this awareness, finding flank kills.
Keeping an eye on the flank. Not currently needed. Astralis all on the top floor. 2 of their players here on this A site. They are far further back than when the rounds have gone the way of Astralis. Device going to be peppered by utility. Still peeks into this, misses his chance to knock Gambit down a peg. They've got that bomb on site, but it's engulfed in flames. They have to wait. Zipnix looked like he was going to challenge through the smoke, but he too buys time.
They're actually so uncomfortable.
Oh, that big Magus. He does extend out, and the bomb's now been thrown to the dirt, so Gambit in a hard recovery. Magus going to get on top of the orange boxes. Zipex again extends, and it's Axile with just the 1 kill. Now it's Hobbit's chance. He's got a little bit of cover. A fake plant. Cover from Shiro. A kill back from Hobbit, and barely any time left to work with. 4 seconds to spare as he dies. Astralis with a 4th. And an absolute need to bring more rounds to the scoreboard.
The smoke they're using in CT is so good. Even when they have the wall smokes down, the one that they're using in CT spawn is making Astralis really uncomfortable. Some of the nades are lined up from safety here, and their vision is obscured because of the smoke, so Magisk had to push and get a kill, and Gambit are specifically trying to displace this by putting pressure in that way. It's working out well so far. Device getting chased up the ramp. The Molly guising the footsteps. Device gets a frag grenade kill, and Zipex will he be able to fall back? No, he'll stand and fight, and he'll get a kill off of it. Magisk to refresh the position, and he's not done yet.
Ooh, but Shiro decides he is done. Takes it over. Zipex feeling the need to commit as he came around for the sandbags, but a missed op shot. Shiro's gonna punish that one, take him into the 2v2. And Dupree, well, he's already downstairs. At the same time, Inters is upper, and Glaive's gonna catch him. So now Shiro, he has everything to do on his own, and he only has a quarter health. Dupree on the ladder. He was going upstairs until Glaive caught that kill from elevator to construction. If that doesn't happen, if that player slips by, then there's no guarantee Dupree doubles back to get that final kill.
Well, they definitely made it very interesting in these mid-round moments. Astralis, they go for that duel. That's a missed op shot from Device. The punishments from Shiro have been on point, like he's keeping up, of course. And there is respect for them. They're playing it cool, waiting to see what comes their way. It's a pistoling round here, mostly Tech 9s. Let's see what they can do with just the Tech 9s on this round.
Oh, misses the mark. MP9 from Zipex, good for a double. And Magisk, he's the next line of defense. 2 Tech 9s, that last smoke thrown. Molotov over towards the ramp so we can focus on the short. Bomb carrier, not even close to this site. Still more than a minute on the mark, but by showing players on the A site and bringing that bomb back over, Napany, well, he's going to try to get aggressive there. Smoke grenade faded, and so did his chance at making much impact. And sure enough, one after another, they all fall at the hands of Magisk. His individual level was so good versus G2 yesterday, and he, even in the post-game interview, mentioned by no longer having that role of the leadership, he can focus on his individuals and his performance, and wow, has he ever given us one already at the start of this BO3.
Yeah, definitely looking very sharp. We saw him in that 1v2 versus G2 outside of construction. That was the one where it was like, okay, he's very switched on at the moment. So another attempt at the buy here from Gambit. Got 7 T rounds, a pretty good T half so far. Napany pushing up for the duel. He'll win it straight on versus Glaive. He takes some damage in the process, but there'll be no trade on the fallback. He's down to 8 HP, but Gambit, they get away with an opening frag, and this will dissuade Astralis from maybe being overly aggressive on the ramp. But how can they manufacture a refrag? This is a strong position. Let's see how Gambit play it.
Let's see what exactly Astralis let them do. We have seen Astralis at times in these disadvantageous situations get aggressive and take players aback.
This does open up Device a little bit more, who's already pushed up.
Yeah. could definitely justify extending into this, but we've got players over towards that B site. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Dupree right now. Dupree right now delivers 3! All 3 kills on the B hold, playing back by Quad. They tried to transition into him, and he lays down the lead.
Damn, I'm telling you right now, Dupree is playing smart. He came close to winning some of those retakes. It was too many of his teammates were dead the whole time, but he's clearly on very good form at the moment. Look at how he outduels all 3 of them around the box. He definitely could have got traded at any moment, just one headshot to connect. But Gambit will be back to mixed buy. They've got 3 Galeals and 2 pistols.
Molotov a little bit late versus Dupree. You see it pop as he's already taken 2 players down. He wasn't made uncomfortable. Zipek's gonna get 1 kill off of the short. Frag grenade could find him. It drops him to 44.
Ooh, Definitely carefully playing with this position. Magic's sitting in the exact same spot. 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, 2 players in fact on top of that box. And look, they get aggressive. Glaive extends around the side of the crane. Banked grenade onto the head of no one. Could have been far worse. Inters wasn't far off the mark. Seems like they still want to contest this short side. It's the final round of Gambit's T side. It started off beautifully, but this has been a recovery from the CTs. Astralis getting their feet beneath them. Still not too late for Gambit to finish with a lead, but they'd have to completely shatter this 2-man advantage. They've got 3 smokes and a Molotov for their final execute of this T side. And we could even see the boost here to get vision over top of the smokes. But there's not actually anybody over on that shelf. Shiro's going to remain on ramp, and if they can, Gambit, they're just hoping to plant this bomb from short side, never needing Shiro to come into the engagement, but Inters denied his initial bomb plant attempt, and Wallbang would have got him off it. They know he's still there.
He's thinking skinny.
Flashes come over the top for the CTs. Nice headshot from Axile. That's what they need. They need to cut down the CTs as they peak, but it's all on Shiro, and he may have damaged Magisk, but he's got 2 other players coming in closer, and he took Magisk to 12. He took Dupree to 10, but it's Astralis to take this half to 8 and leave things split down the middle as we take a break. A justifiable map pick from Gambit gave them 7 rounds on the T side of Vertigo, but Astralis, and most notably Magisk, definitely took things back a step. They do have a 1-round lead, but they take to the T side of their opponent's map pick, and we've got to see who's going to step up. 16 and 8 in the first 15 rounds, and Magisk kicks off Pistol with another frag to his name.
They immediately stop on the ramp after they get this opening and wait to see if there are any tricky positions that might be played here from Gambit. Of course, a re-aggression is in order from the CT side. Lots of ways to peek and find an opening. No utility to support in this situation. Not the biggest deal in the world. Not a really good position for Gambit in terms of retake potential. So trying to win by early kills first would be huge. Aggressive angle here from Nafany onto the ramp as he sits and waits, and players are coming in. Oh no, he gets the headshot, but he doesn't get the kill. How does even do that much damage? I don't know. Inters will catch the fallback though, and it looks like Astralis. They're getting aggressive on everybody running down the A ramp. All the CTs coming through like a storm, pushing Zipix back off the short shelf. All alone, it's Inters to pick up 4. Every single kill coming up from 6 off the first half. Nearly doubling his kills in the pistol round.
The tempered aggression, perfectly timed. This first frag, oh, we're not going to get to see it. Enters from behind sandbags.
When did he even sneak in here? I thought there was no one sandbags for a second. He just walked over.
How does Device not die?
I don't even know.
Right?
I was like, I thought that was a definitely a clean headshot, but still, they win the round.
Yeah, whatever it is. In the end, he's not even really needed. Enters, huge play.
This was the half that came close for Liquid, but was very, very difficult the whole way through. Astralis caused them tons of problems. I think Gambit found a really cool smoke they used for their execs that smoked into CT spawn as they were coming into the site, made Astralis uncomfortable. But like you said, Magisk really started to get comfortable, and they're playing from the top at default, which they never do before. That ended up actually working out quite well.
Smoke in their faces. Still, they're going to keep up this pace. They've got very little to lose. Oh, what? Glaive just spamming the smoke somehow finds a Glock headshot. Well, that doesn't make much sense now, does it? Enters even at a distance, also taking one to the face. Hobbit's going to slip into the short side. Easy execution. Glaive has slipped. Glaive slips by him.
There is.
Glaive slipped by him.
Did he walk by him in lower?
Yeah, in the forklift room.
They're going to come back. Can he plant?
Easy plant.
Oh my goodness, there's no one here at all.
They do not understand how he escaped. They crossed paths down at the bottom of ramp. I'm not even sure. I just caught it out of the peripheral. Glaive definitely knew he had the timing, and now Enters, who Glaive or Device tagged up early, was almost susceptible to death with another Glock shot. That's a weird moment.
The plant means a whole bunch more utility into this next round, so that's a pretty big find to just have that with the Glocks alone. Yeah, I don't know. Did Glaive make a play there where he saw his opponent didn't shoot, or what happened? This is also a pretty randy kill. I think if Shiro has head armor there. Kind of. Oh yeah, he does.
Yes,
okay, I see. Wow. Round
hey,
box.
You get what you get.
He's happy about the plant.
He was like, I don't know how I did any of that.
Okay, 1 round lead here for Gambit coming off the pistol. Plant means the buy, pretty even keeled. Let's see how the CT side looks. Astralis, they did have to work hard on their T side, but they put together some really, really creative stuff. But the same can be said for Gambit coming out of that first half. This is one of the most intense matches so far, just right off the jump. Here, learning about Gambit after coming off the 2-2-0 victories. Axel loses duel in B. Molotovs come full exec. First rifle round into B. Maybe less expected, and Inters gets punished sitting beside the parts of the wall, leaning on the wall.
He did nothing wrong.
Yeah,
just standing there, minding his own business.
Just a normal position. Sometimes the smokes that get thrown down can zone you whether you know it or not, right? Like here, I'm going to watch the corner of this smoke, and I'm going to stand here because it's natural. And then, of course, smokes are not walls, so if Astralis are prepared for that, that could be just simply part of the protocol. That's just what it's all about on Vertigo. It's a messy map with messy strats. Instantaneous save here for Gambit. So we keep the 3 rifles, still fine for them. Some money left over. But yes, the Gambit, kind of like they had so far, they're kind of like the Astralis of the Tier 2, if that makes sense. The one Tier 1 team that came in their way, Na'Vi, they won over twice in their insane map win streak. They beat them 2 times. In the CIS, Na'Vi are probably the most studied team, naturally. In general, in the world, Astralis is going to be that roster.
Astralis put up 708 damage with utility in the first half, an average of 47.2 per round.
And it's a consistent feature for them.
Yep.
Inferno HE grenades are what define the Astralis era.
And Dust 2 yesterday as
and
well.
Dust 2, oh yeah.
They had like 1,000 after the first half.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
I would say like
that's 10 humans, 1,000 damage.
Human beings stacked high. 9 rounds each. We've got an interesting first map.
I'm surprised Astralis went through the B hit. It's very risky, right? Like B hits in general to do versus full rifles. We saw at Gambit were very careful about when they went to B. They used it versus weak buys so they could make it seem like they were hitting B sometimes. So some of the smokes go down on the A ramp. They push the CTs back. Glaive pushes up aggressively for information. We saw this free aggression on the pistol run. That was so curious. And now Gambit will be tested from within the site. How will they deal with this? Dupree is sitting back here. And we saw versus Liquid what Dupree did in this position. They flashed in, they tried to clear out the lower stairs, and then they figured out that they could take the B site. But just because he's sitting there doesn't mean he's going to turn the corner. Oh my god, through the wall! Nafany from 100 to 0. Straight through yellow. Trying to hold short shelf, and they know he was on the way there.
And just
how the hell?
Into the barrier. Big gap in this smoke. But is it a trap? Shiro floats nearby. Dupree and Axile, a game of patience, where Dupree has the better of the weaponry. Astralis sitting on the final 45 seconds, and they begin to work towards B. We just mentioned Axile, but he laid down this smoke grenade. He's playing Dupree's position.
Yeah, he's playing. This is Dupree's hallmark position on top of the half wood at the B site, and I think Dupree saw him walk back up the stairs.
But he leaves.
Okay, they'll move back, but it's mostly about the B stairs being cleaned up, and Device somehow finds another kill.
And enters, well, he was just floating closer to the B site. He doesn't actually leave right away, and with the utility, yeah, he's going to stick around. It's the double Thomas here to try and hold, and that second position catches them off guard ever so slightly. Hobbit, 1v4, clean first pickup. 6 seconds left. He knows there's a player coming from the A site, and Device going to walk right into the crosshair to slay him.
It's Tom cruising in.
Headshot immediately from Device, and we've got Gambit now with a broken economy. So Astralis, 1 round lead and a chance at momentum.
The team that wins, of course, is the team that can adapt, especially in a feel-out game. That's insane. I was wondering how he did that. He literally hit him with probably 9 or 10 bullets to be able to get that kill straight up through the wall. Typically, when you're going for the yellow wall spams, you're just trying to do 50 damage, soften him up for the execute. Not nail a kill like that, just lucky timing from Device, but still, of course, he's done it a million times. Pretty insane for him to grab 3 frags by himself when the plan was to go B. After he walks sideways into him, of course, just USPs on this one. And Dupree takes a dink. He falls back. He's got a full kit to work with. Probably wants to start dumping it at some point.
Quick B stack. Bomb left down at the depths of A. Magic's going to take construction, maybe? Options open, obviously. It's just a matter of dodging these USPs. And so far, so good. They're going to split into the A site through middle.
It's crazy how interconnected Astralis can be when they get this far spread out. They're just really good, just being 5 fingers on one hand, as Shocks would say. Kind of operating at multiple points of the spider web. Dupree, low on HP, going ahead. Get a lot of kills, actually, for how little health he has. And end up with all 4. 4 CTs dead. The quartet dead on the same spot.
Do what you got to do.
All right, this is the big guns round. Exile drops it over. And we just revisit the quick mow down. Again, just taking 1 point of damage. Not all swinging at the same time. Probably would have done the job. Smoke onto the A ramp. Nafany will take a quick peek. Oh my goodness, he's going high and over. Oh, he'll get tagged by a grenade. That might hurt his chances here. Yeah, that is quite unfortunate. That little bit of information compromised his position completely. Shiro. Oh my God, is Device going to walk right by him? No, Jesus.
Shiro finds him.
I don't even know that.
Like a homing missile.
Oh my God, but all the while, look at this.
Able to take over middle, then that angle deep. Real deep. Finds Shiro, trying to rotate over, and there's the final kill. Shiro made that look scary for a second, but Astralis, they peeled away from that A site like a bat out of hell.
That was nuts. As soon as he got the kill, I mean, this is really unfortunate for Nafany because he comes flying onto the ramp, but he gets hit in the chest by a smoke grenade, and then of course his position is known. He can no longer make the play he wants to make. You know Astralis are listening in for that.
It's okay, you peek. Shiro has averaged more flash assists per round than anyone else, he's even with Naf, at this event.
Even with Naf, more flash assists. Who knew Naf was doing that much support?
What the hell's going on?
And Shiro, actually. That's pretty cool. Like to see that.
Naf's been doing a lot of AWPing on the maps we saw, I guess, at this event.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. He has been getting closer and closer to a primary every day. Primary source of support here for Astralis, as we've seen lately, is Magisk.
21 and 10.
Yeah. And I really feel like Dupree is just, again, I feel like he's going under the radar just a tiny bit. Some of the rounds that he's gotten close, but I feel like he is definitely in a pop-off mood at the moment, playing very smart. Oops.
Never.
You just got to cancel.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of a tricky boost. Like, it doesn't look like it, but it's a little bit awkward.
Not really room for two. Ooh. Enters. Maybe room for two, because that first Eagle headshot comes so quickly, and he's got Shiro nearby to support him.
He's trying to gang up on this AK.
Let's see. I mean, it's a man advantage, at least for Gambit. They could really use a round like this, where they're not meant to win. There are guns in the ceiling.
Did he just throw? Oh, he threw that up into the ceiling.
Yep.
Cool. Very, very crafty.
Like in the movies.
No Country for Old Men. It's like throwing the suitcase into the vent.
Got to get away with the gold.
Hopefully there's no tracker on it.
They're stacking up on this A site, though.
30 seconds.
Yeah. They're getting into position. Gambit, I mean, it's going to take a hell of a pistol play, but it could work out. CZ good for the first one, and then it's just Astralis across the kill feed. Magisk, the saving grace.
Well, still kudos for, picking the right sites, getting close nearly. I mean, it's kind of one kill and everything comes tumbling down. We don't see that version of reality. Instant buyback. And I think Astralis caught him a little bit off guard with the early B hit. That one is quite interesting, but it's really just this game with Device on one side and Dupree on the other side, and them ping-ponging information off of each other, almost both working as lurkers. That seems really hard to overcome.
Shiro, maybe a more aggressive angle this time. The option is his, but the opposition is Device.
A bit more patience.
Just missed the head. Oh, give him a second chance. A Device not going to let you get away. 5 versus 3 here for Astralis. Shooting for their 14th round. Hobbit, good damage through tarp. Falls back. 63 HP for him. He comes back at it, and Glave's going to catch him. Immediate rotate over towards the B site. Despite Dupree leaving for a moment, they second guess it. They know Inters is there, and so they will still commit to the A site. It is completely theirs for the taking. Astralis, they will have 14 rounds, leading by 5. And Gambit, well, it's been quite some time that we haven't seen them with a CT round win. They picked up that pistol. They converted for 2. That took them from 7 to 9. And then it's been nothing but Astralis ever since.
Yeah, and I think Astralis still have a little bit more in the bag, because right now it's like Device is able to win rounds by himself. On these last 2 rifle rounds, he got 3 kills on the 2 entries. When they went towards B, he just was there alone. We weren't even watching him because the group up was going towards B. And on this round, he finds the op kill on Shiro. He grabs a second frag. Glaive goes untraded. Some close calls, but of course, you know, you've got to trust Shiro to take that duel. That 1v1 opening on the ramp. Some days you're going to win it, some days you aren't. Right now, Device is shooting hot. And I think we might have a save. I don't know how much money they've got left over. That's also another really great kill. Definitely, talk about Kenny S watching demos. You talk about watching Device a lot. Called him the best opter for a few years now. That's what he said about Device. His demos are so palatable. Like, every position he plays, it's so calm. It's like, you watch a Kenny S demo, you've got to kind of emulate some of the aggression, but with Device, you can copy and paste. He's just so smart about his positions. Hobbit will go down after doing some damage. That's another opening kill here for Device.
Gambit have been pretty incapable of taking the depth of this A ramp until now. This is the furthest we have ever seen them get. And even then, it cost them Hobbit's head.
It can kind of be a trap to get this far down the A ramp. It's very nice to have control of it, but you sometimes just want to leave. Yeah, I think it does make sense for Gambit. There's not actually a lot of great positions down there to hold from, is the real double-edged sword. So you're encouraged because it's hard to win, but sometimes you don't want to keep it. And all the while, again, they keep their options open with Dupree. He always gets B stairs control. He hasn't died once so far in control of the map.
This could be a really powerful position from Nafany, but it's just the FAMAS. That's what worries me. Although he does slip between 3 players and finds the one that had the least amount of health. Shiro, a helping hand. But there should still be a player right next to him. Yeah, Glaive turned back. Shiro kills one of the 2 players that move beyond him, but they didn't know about the other. A great moment of recovery from Glaive, and Magisk jumping up somehow finds that headshot.
No nades.
And Inters has no way to contest that bomb plant. Glaive's going to go ahead and challenge over the box, finding Axile through smokes. It's like Glaive has some kind of infrared vision this map, man. Every time, every round, he seems to be finding damage or kills through the smokes.
Yeah, he's through the smokes all the time. Yeah, they're definitely firing off on all cylinders. Inters, he's alone, he'll have to save. He's just a B player. And again, the only time he caught action, which just really rocks you mentally. Like, does that mean there's going to be a lot more B hits? Damn, we let them win that B round. No retake potential. We've had a pretty abysmal CT side here from Gambit. And I want to say that there's still hope for them to bring it back, but they haven't given themselves confidence that they can win any kind of round, whether it's a slow one, a mid round, or anything here on the CT side. And now they'll have to hear the match point sound ring off every single round as they attempt to force back in to this game. 3 FAMASes already. If that's not a sign of poverty, I don't know what is. 4, in fact, to pair with the M4 of Shiro.
So 7 consecutive round wins coming out of Astralis to find 15. And an 8th to seal the deal. Device will be flashed. I like the aggression. I respect the fact that they want this fight. They've taken a knee a couple of times because of Astralis's fury.
Nice kill, man.
They stand up time after time.
Oh, what?
Slips in through mid. Smoke grenade over on the elevator. That blocks off 2 players from Gambit. They still have a player down at the base of the stairs, but Axile knows he's compromised. He gets flashed by Glaive, who looked over here but didn't see him. And now Axile had another chance, but Zipnik's on high alert, looks to bring this back into the B site. Shiro trying to fight with Hobbit by his side. Now he has to do it all. Last smoke grenade thrown, dying out to Magisk, who looks wonderful yet again today in this series. I mean, Magisk, just a step above and beyond across both yesterday's game and today's. And when we look at Gambit's performance, they had players putting up frags, but nobody to the degree of Magisk.
Well, we will be looking at Magisk, and we'll be looking at Gambit after this short break, so stick around.
Yeah. La 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 la.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Gambit came out on all cylinders, straight out the gate, showing that we're here to play, here to show up against Astralis, smoking out the defense in their T side. However, when the tables turned, Astralis just looked more sophisticated, more able to get things done. And Gambit, I mean, their bank was broken throughout most of that. We barely saw any full buys.
They had basically, I mean, they even won the second pistol and still didn't win a single rifle round after that. So they leveraged a good position coming into the second half, but they got outclassed on game plan. And at first, they had Astralis against the ropes, but of course, you always got to give credit to the team. We said this for so many games at this event, for the team who wins the rounds towards the end of the half. That's the team's going to feel more confident. That feels like they won. And of course, we can ask Astralis about it or Gambit about it afterwards to see what the mood was like at that moment. But it was definitely back and forth in the beginning.
Scorny, were you least impressed by the first half?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the fact that Gambit were able to force buy in the second round, were able to take over that A site a couple of times with pretty stellar conviction. Astralis went through some economic woes at the start of their CT side. And then once the economy stabilized, we saw them take over that half, finish it strong with 5 in a row. Like you talk about, it's the team that stabilizes that kind of gets the credit at the end of the day. And then all of a sudden putting a very quick end to that CT side of Gambit.
And Device showed Shiro who was boss in that second half.
He did in the second half, but Shiro definitely turned up in the first.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know how many duels he won versus Device, but
that's a really good question.
Yeah,
it would take me probably quite a while to navigate to find out that specific number.
The back-to-back rifle rounds where Device is able to kill players by himself on the A ramp, just taking control of it, which just showed why he was a cut above.
Glaive kind of kept up that momentum he was showing us yesterday as well. He was actually 3 for 6 in opening duels, but Device was really getting it done on that ramp. As you say, 6-3 in opening kills. I was quite impressed by Gambit kind of closing their holes on the T side as well, because it looked early on like Astralis, the CTs were literally just able to creep into those close pump positions and take them down. And then Gambit started covering their back more, like that rotation we saw on ramp. I can't remember if it was Device or Dupree who came out to
and then Shiro was like aware of it. Yeah, the awareness from him was really good. Nafany, he played his game, like going for the opening duels as we talked about. He did that, which was great. He went for them, and some of the trades at first looked really, really strong. But yeah, again, after they stopped dying a little bit early, then they started to get control back and brought it to like a 7-8 half.
I did also look up the vertigo that we saw against Cloud9, and Gambit won 12 rounds on their CT side. I think the overall score line was 12-6. So we rarely actually saw, on their CT side, on their T side. So we actually didn't really see more than, I guess, a mere handful of round wins on the CT side, because they simply didn't need them. They only needed to win 4 rounds. So in other words, I feel like maybe the Gambit CT side was a little bit untested. Untested,
yeah. And again, Astralis is the only tier 1 team they've played on Vertigo as well as Inferno. So you can feel really confident, but sometimes that can make it hurt worse, right? If you don't have the right scrim preparation, and we don't know who they play, because certainly they're in the right circles now when it comes to practice outside of their officials. So they're probably playing against a lot of good competition, but we don't have info on that.
But we are going to go to Inferno next. This is going to be an interesting one. I didn't mention it in the pre-show, and I will mention it again, which is, for me, the B-site is still a question, because I think Astralis is really going to take advantage of the fact that Hobbit and Nafani, when he's there, they're going to sit back. They're probably going to contest with a couple of those, but they don't really resource it that heavily. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think this could be a 2-0.
It's the same mistake that a lot of teams make versus Astralis, right? It's this intimidating idea of pushing down banana versus sitting back. No matter what you do, you're going to get wrecked.
We have got to run to a break right now. And when we come back, we are going to be seeing Inferno. If Gambit found the first map Vertigo tough, they are going to have an even bigger mountain to climb on Astralis' pick of Inferno, because Astralis are looking so hot on this map as always, and Gambit, it feels like there's an opportunity to kind of show what they can do, just go out, swing in, maybe just take those risks, because it's worth showing the world who they are.
When we talk about Astralis, of course, we have to, with today, it's not Astralis in 2018, and at the beginning of the tournament, on the first day, it seemed like there was more of a chance for an upset to happen with them, and then they just progressively got better throughout all the matches that we saw, and now they've just shown with that map that they do look as strong as they appear. But one of the famous things about Astralis is they have the lowest loss percentage versus teams that were out of their tier over any other competition. So even when they were choking in those finals and making all the semifinals, they almost never lost to teams who were ranked lower than them.
So actually they don't get tripped up by underdogs like other teams do.
Yeah, that's why the Cloud9 matches were so interesting, because they won versus Spirit, they won versus ENT, and that's very important to see that a team that's on the rise can also win versus teams they're supposed to beat, even with low practice.
Got to stick out in the crowd, right? And that's what those teams do well.
I think now what's interesting is that, we thought maybe with the hit down to the lower bracket and the fact that Godsent pushed Astralis in there, that there was maybe some issues within Astralis.
Yeah.
But now that we also have seen Godsent take down Heroic,
Maybe we'll get the rematch.
maybe we'll get the rematch. And also we are starting to see that maybe the tale isn't struggles from Astralis, but rather performances from Godsent.
True.
A little bit of a recovery, because ever since that loss, we've had nothing but 2 zeros from Astralis. I think?
So,
Maybe I'm wrong.
maybe. Yeah, I think that's correct. I think that's correct. Close. Yeah, 2 overs G2, 2 overs Liquid. So, I don't know if there's a third match. So here we are on Inferno. Highest win rate for both teams. So a map that certainly Gambit are going to be comfortable on.
Yep.
But again, this is the map that separates teams in the Tier 1 alone. So even some Tier 1 teams are not very good at it. So we'll see if Gambit have really thought about everything when it comes to the map and how many protocols they have. Because there are definitely some overrated Tier 1 teams on this map as well. Astralis, however, are not one of them.
Hobbit's pregame interview.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll talk about Hobbit when he's alive.
Okay. Give him that respect. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen someone so viscerally regret peaking. We just saw Hobbit in that moment. Like, damn, I picked the wrong time.
Did not work. I was going to say, in the pregame interview with Hobbit, he mentioned how they needed experience versus the Tier 1. He very much recognized that despite their current form and their rise, Gambit, across some of the other challengers, they knew they were not favorites for this. They knew that they would have their hands full, and now they know what it's like to face the best in the business.
Well, they've got a good setup here for this site hit. 3 here, no rotations, 1's coming late. The execute is coming. They're taking over pit while they win their duels.
Nice little 2-man hit here, actually. We had Inters inside the little pit, and then, well, we've got a player to support both Axile and Shiro. But now Shiro's dead to rights. Nafany's trying to find an angle along this arch smoke. Axile playing proactively within the boxes, kind of cools things off. 20 seconds.
Yeah, time.
Not the best situation for Astralis, but they do have that final bit of utility.
99.
Nafany, 1 health. He has 1 health left over and 1 teammate left over now that he needs to see clutch the 1v3. 10 seconds. Axile! Up close and personal. He busts open Astralis.
You want the knife? Holy, 4 kills, Axile holding it down. Teammate dies in the back, no friends left over, and he doesn't need him. This is a lone soldier right here. Look at this beautiful couple of kills. See the madness in his eyes. Take no prisoners.
Dish out regrets.
That was sick.
My God.
I wonder if scared there, Frankie. A little bit. That was nuts.
Hell of a way to start. Let's see it. Astralis maybe coming off the first map win with some confidence. I don't know if that third player had to reload or if he was just feeling the knife. I kind of got swept away by the moment. I'm not even sure which player it was.
Device, yeah. I was wondering if he was out of ammo.
Right.
I guess he switched. Yeah, he switched to USP right from the beginning. So he might have been out of ammo.
Regardless, good chance for Gambit to start this defensive side early. Little smoke goes down deep. Of course, majority SMGs for Gambit, looking to milk that money. They throw out more utility, also blocking off the top of middle. I think Gambit would be making a mistake if they were to overface Astralis in this round. You could see this Deeg looking for a headshot. Nafany's gonna fire off the logs. Device
Shoot,
blows
Device
his
is on one
head
right
off,
now.
clears through the corner. He will die at the hands of Hobbit, who, of course, with another MP9, is still looking to just make cash magist onto the half wall. With the flash, the peek comes from Hobbit. He's got teammates to bail him out, and everything goes well for Gambit.
Nice cover there by Shiro to protect his teammate, to keep the SMGs alive, and to get SMG kills in for the economy. So Astralis will buy up now after a real topsy-turvy first round. And I'd like to know, Device, did he come in with the knife because he was out of bullets, or did he just think the round was over? And either way, I mean, yeah, he's just, he got kind of 20 or so kills on Vertigo, but it was kind of like that Ross effect where he looked kind of unstoppable. So they come through with the early fast push down mid. Dupree instant punishes. Nafany sprays wildly to see if anybody's tucked within the smoke. And I'm not sure if he saw anyone pushed up there. Looks like he might go for some kind of timing shot. Nope, instead he'll fall back. And one thing I really respect about Device on these defaults on Inferno is he's like always the guy to be running up, pushing up aggressively. Like he seems like a quite a quote-unquote passive player, but he's the guy who takes utility damage, who finds the spot between two fires to stand in, who's off the corner of a smoke, opening things up on Banana.
Smoke from Nafany, denying vision from Device. He wants to crack that B site open. He's got 2 players behind him, Enclave and Magisk. Nafany's going to get dangerously close to this Device inside of the smoke as it begins to fade. Nice little snap from the crosshair. Nafany staying alive. Ooh, kicking 1, 2, 3. All the players off of the top of Banana etched into the weapon of Nafany.
No help needed. Just a FAMAS. Did you see that? With a FAMAS with 1 mag. Melts him down like what? And cheese stick in the microwave.
Oh, your favorite treat. Sorry, I'm thinking like aluminum, steel, Nafany. Is that Naf?
Gambit, X-Men. There's the cards that explode and
cheese stick. That was the answer.
Oh man, I have the ugliest laugh ever. Don't laugh at that.
4 players up for Gambit, 3 rounds. The lead. Nafany making the difference, man. Playing off with the sandbags, just stopping them. Nobody's going for the wide swing. Nobody's going for the hard clear.
That is butter for your eyeballs right there.
Rub it in deep.
Beautiful stuff.
Massage them.
That's what you picture, envision when you stand up on top of the sandbags. You want to get 1, 2, 3. We're gonna send Device. We're gonna send Astralis back to Denmark online.
Missed Deagle shot. It's now Hobbit's turn to hold down Banana, as Axile will find himself a kill elsewhere. Of course, that's inside of the apartments. Astralis unable to break through for the time being. This was a full buy, don't forget. Astralis trying their absolute damnedest.
Not well, like they invest.
As it,
yeah. A force up for sure.
This was everything Astralis could afford. And there's still the rifle on Zipex. Smoke grenade goes deep. Shiro's going to lay down an incendiary. 50 seconds. No bomb for Astralis, so obviously options open.
Device playing on black bars in real life. The group up is here. They've got good enough utility to come through, so they just got to pick whether they want to emo, they want a molly emo or molly quad. We'll just look to Glaive to see what he lines up. And he's just walking up slowly. Looks like he's going to save it, see if they can maybe surmise some entries. Flash will go over, but it's blocked off and well handled here by Nafany and Hobbit. 1 left alive, it's Device. He's got a AK, but he's low on HP. However, he wins his duel. Is there going to be a push through? Oh, nope, it's kind of a fake here.
Yeah, he played around with it. Now he's not going to be able to find his bomb plant.
Oh my god, he doesn't have time to even go for this. He's looking for like a 2K spray down. Awkward situation. Okay, he needs to die right before time. Weird play by Device. Obviously, didn't want to go for the plant. Winning was weird. It was a weird situation to try to win. Thought maybe they were both wrapping around construction. And maybe thought he had a way out.
Yeah, Shiro also kind of going for the audio fake. He was running through the smoke with his Tech 9 out, but then stopped. 250 rather. He is a CT. You can't buy those Tech 9s. But he could pick them up after this one, because Astralis come in with a couple of Tech 9s and a trio of Deegs. A large collection of flashbangs, but none of them needed. Shiro goes ahead and topples the first player. Now it's Inters with an attempted double spray down. Shiro's called in to drop that bomb carrier. Dupree's got a Deagle kill, but he's lost all his teammates, and he only has 10 health left to work with. So he'll find an M4 challenge through mid, attempt onto Arch, and die. Gambit find 5.
Hopefully see that Shiro shot again. That was really, really fast, honestly. We saw it with the X-ray, but off the cover of the smoke, really instantaneously takes his opposition down. Again, right there, that's Device out of the round. And a good couple of pistol kills, but that's all they'll get. 5-0 start here for Gambit. And this is where the game needs to begin for Astralis. Huge flub on the pistol, getting 1v3'd by Axile. Should be fresh in their memory. This would be an absolutely ludicrous win for Gambit for their Inferno. So not only would they have their 80, 90% whatever win rate, they'd have their win versus Cloud9 not quite as strong, and then suddenly a win over Astralis. Change the course of their vetoes.
Definitely be something to write home about. See if we can get there. 5 rounds to start. Very good showing initially from Gambit. We saw similar scenes on Vertigo before the Danish powerhouse powered up.
Look at this rotation. They've got Inters over here to help. Bomb is coming up towards B. They're throwing smokes down, and it's in front of Shiro, but it doesn't mean that it'll scare them. It looks like they're still comfortably stacked over on this side. Shiro rotates over into CT spawn. They're going to keep the setup as it is, so they've got the right read on the situation.
Here he goes over the top, flashbangs alongside it. Let's see it, Hobbit. He loses his teammate over on the new box, but there's only 20 seconds to spare. And Hobbit actually has a little pocket to work within. Still hiding in the Shire. Inters able to get himself 2 kills, and Hobbit, his position still unknown. Device, well, he still hasn't checked this. Hobbit, he's going to come out now from the hidey hole. And sure enough, it is Zipex pinned in position. 3 CTs to take down, gets the one towards spawn, but Hobbit hides and survives and arrives alongside his teammates for a 6th consecutive round.
I think Hobbit was about to get spammed down. This is all about Inters. Inters comes through with the AUG and kills 2 from the construction cross, spams them down as they're crossing to the back of site. I mean, surely you see a smoke go down on your molly inside of Emo. You spam it. I think right there is where they're going to clear it, and he just mows them both down. One's an incidental kill, but they'll take it. That's a win. Scary a bit. Yeah, they get it.
Zipex has lost just one of his last 16 Inferno games.
Oh, so since the break?
Yeah, he's got a reputation on the line.
Yeah. The scary part, of course, for Gambit is they played back like that. They had the right gamble read to play 2 coming over, but they didn't win versus the entries because, of course, the execute is just, it covers everything. So they've got to think about that moving forward. But at the same time, so far, they've been good at getting the kills on Banana, which is the key. Nico did kind of the same thing on G2, but he was more of a one-man army. For Gambit, it looks like they're a bit more even strength when it comes to finding these kills.
Hobbit laying down utility. That was good damage off of his frag grenade. But they're throwing some back his way.
Fighting hard here for Banana. They had a very hard group up from Astralis. Nobody pushed anything, or has pushed anything over on the A site. Gambit playing light, expecting another B hit to come their way. They're correct about it once again. It looks like a flash to top mid. Just to feed into their paranoia a little bit, but it looks like they're about to turn the corner. Shiro, it's your time. Oh, wicked shot.
The only player to find something on the entry. Pre and Device side by side could go for a boost if they want to get some kind of elevated peak. But even then, they're going to find nothing for it. Zipex the Wild just hiding and holding back behind them. An additional smoke. Anthony, he will get caught. It pays off. 30 seconds left though. Astralis, they have 1 smoke grenade. And if they throw it at the feet of Shiro, then maybe they could still overwhelm this bomb.
Yeah, right.
But he peeks around it and he has a gap. So Device could walk right into this. He jumps at the final moment. Zipex is going to give him cover. Device is going to try to plant another attempt through the smoke, but this time it does not work. Shiro has done everything for Gambit. And he's got that scope up as he gets closer towards Coffins. Device looks to keep him honest. But it's not just Shiro. It's Inters belong right with him. Zipex holding in Axile. That's an easy execute. Now it's Device's time to shine. His AK capitalizing 2 kills for Astralis.
My God, what a round from Shiro, though, on the defense. Again, another round where Gambit have 3 up. Maybe they got a bit fortunate the last time they held B with 3 with that Hobbit in the back of the sights going unaccounted for. And here Shiro puts up a fight, but again, everybody else dies as they seek out some more information. Maybe could have played it a bit more cool. 3-on-5 situation. Maybe you don't need to be peeking off of oranges with a smoke down in front of the site. So that's a big win for Astralis, of course. They're going to be very happy about that. Nicely played in the post plant, and it just learned a new off angle from Device.
Magisk had at least double the multi-kills of anyone on Gambit during map 1.
Wow, it's all standing on top of default of all places.
We must not call him Magisk Boy, though. He loves it.
Oh, yeah. He's fully evolved. He's like the next, like he's the evolution of the Pokemon.
I was about to say, yeah, he's like level 3 evolution, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually Mega Evolutions now. So
Mega.
I mean,
Oh God, I'm very behind with the times, guys. I haven't played since 2001.
When do we get Magisk Zard? That's what's coming up next.
As opposed to Magikarp.
oh!
Okay.
Fire.
I'm sure he's going to love this cast. Frankie's going to hear this. Like, put some respect on my name, Frankie.
Hobbit. He's looking to put some respect on his, because he questions the abilities of Astralis as he gets ahead of the half wall. Deep CT smoke. He saw that cross from Magic.
That's bad.
But it gets magnetized. He tries to hone in on his kill, and Glaive sends him home.
Quite a committed position right there. This is the first time we're seeing Dupree aggressive in the halls. Exile, he's been sharp. And who better than a lurker to catch a lurker? There it is. Instant kill down. They start to rotate back over as they see Dupree is that target. Dupree stays alive in that spot. They probably don't even rotate. See if they continue on through the Molotov. Daphne caught out in the open, but my God, is he good at holding down Mouse 1. He'll control that spray. Shiro takes a huge bunch of damage as they push into the site. Daphne's still all alone, and Shiro's continuing to get barraged.
But Axile also just got into position, and he lays down damage from his frag grenade. Smoke soon to fade. Another one hits his feet. Shiro hits the shot. Axile yet to strike, but at a moment's notice, he could swing wide into the 2 Ts that are on the other side, and the longer they wait, the closer he gets to regaining vision. He strikes by surprise, and Naphani's going to close this. Gambit right back to the scoreboard, 7-1.
All they needed right there, just someone in CT to wait for the push. It's just perfect. Again, if Dupree stays alive, nobody actually rotates out of A. They were more concerned it was going to be a late A hit. Gambit are just gambling every single round. After they lose, well, they lost a player who's pushed on Banana, so that was where things got a bit tricky for them. Hoppit going down early, Astralis had good odds. They had to go for some kind of read.
Shiro has had 3 events with under a 1.0 rating, ever. And 2 of them were 1 map qualifiers.
Just unlucky. Just to ruin the event statistics. You've got 1 map qualifiers that are like counting as events.
He's not an onliner, apparently. That was sarcasm.
We'll see. I mean, I honestly don't know, like, you know, some people will fall off when you get back to LAN 100%, but I'm confident with some of the players that have come up, like the heroic players and Gambit and some others. I don't really see a reason why they should completely fall off. I think just maybe there'll be a bit of a gestation period as they get used to playing on LAN, but surely they'll be able to keep up at least some level of their form. And Device did say he misses LAN because people used to make so many more mistakes. That's what he said.
Little challenge on the arch side, see if Inters can use his own utility to stave things off. He does. Convinces them to double back onto the B site where Hobbit has his head popped.
Oh, I don't think he was trying to get out of there, and for good reason. Axile. Why does he only have an MP9 on this round? He'll get
not quite sure. But he uses it properly, flashes himself through, takes a player with him.
This is not a huge investment here from Astralis. Strange round to lose, and yeah, I guess maybe because of how close that last one was, they were just broke despite winning. Keeping it spinning. It's got your knife.
The skeleton.
Every time Connor sees a skeleton knife, he just goes, oh man.
Oh man.
Damn.
Lots of new skins added to the game yesterday.
Yeah.
New set of gloves. A whole new collection of gloves. Oh my goodness.
Are there?
Dude, they're beautiful.
Are they, is it like one style, like
nope.
a tortue?
All the same styles?
Yeah.
Like every style you've seen?
Yeah.
More of them. More color waves.
Oh my goodness.
I think what the kids say. Color waves?
Color waves.
Color ways.
Yeah.
Ways. Oh, yeah.
I only just got a knife. Everyone was like...
You bought a knife.
What you got?
Well, so basically, everyone was like, if you haven't got a knife, then
Run
you
slower.
won't rank up,
Yep,
right?
it's true.
But that's true, yeah, everyone knows that.
My friend Blitz gave me a knife.
Wait,
out
Did he
of
give you the
He
like,
gave me
Dota?
Yeah, Blitz
Yo.
and Dota, yeah. He's a good CS player. He gave me a knife. It was the Narajevo knife, and then everyone in my Twitch chat was like,
Another
"That's a rubbish. That's a rubbish knife. You need a different knife. I can't win."
Well, Blitz comes from Dota, opens up CSGO.
He gets one of the rarest knives of all time in a case opening.
I gave him 20 cases. That knife should be mine.
Oh, is it
Factory
there?
new, Gamma Doppler,
Okay,
thousands of dollars,
Hero needs to do everything on this round.
just like Shiro.
Damage.
Thousands of dollars invested. That AWP.
They follow up on it. They're not going to assume a rotation's in, or they don't really care. They're just moving forward on this exec. Shiro, it looks like they're hoping he tries to move out of the site. Axile has no idea they've walked all the way up lane. A big confidence play here from Astralis, and no chance for Shiro to get back into this round.
Well, they threw that op at them early, right? Tried to find a little contact. Astralis very good at just hiding beneath the rocks, it seems. And then once the shark had left, Astralis swoops in and sucks up the clownfish. Poor Axile. Never saw it coming.
Is that a Nemo? What's a Nemo?
A clownfish.
Okay. And what's a Dory?
An angelfish.
Okay.
And they forget things.
And what's a sharkfish?
A Vinny.
Vinny.
Almost going to turn his back.
Wow.
Dies out to Dupree. A double. Maybe a
even-
little more.
Doesn't even respect Dupree. Can't even look at him. They're trying to get this op out of the round. Oh, Device will. My God, dude.
Swinging from the fences.
Device is serious at the moment.
Inters
But
just
they still
hiding.
need to get it.
Please, leave me. And they're going to continue to challenge. He gets himself one kill of the final three. Dies out in the end. They don't get the op back in their hands, but they do clear it from Gambit.
And they set up a round where no saves, so Gambit have to spend down to 0 on all of their players, and they're a little bit low on utility. Chance here to punish hard for Astralis, but they've let this opportunity slip a couple of times. That pistol round haunting them. The 3K spray down from the top of Banana haunting them.
And the crunches on that B site also haunting them. 2 players for Gambit here on A. We've got Axile up close and personal. Then, of course, we've got Inters a little further back. Inters just lays the smoke in apartments. This will delay Astralis unless they want to take a massive chance.
They're reading this so well. Gambit, they've been playing 2A for a lot of the time. Look at they just gamble on B again. They're just overstacking it, hoping. But they're not planning to win the A site right now. They'll take a hero play here from Inters on top of the balcony. Let's see if the flashes will get him.
Yep, a little bit. And he finds the first kill, as does Axile. Each of the 8 players delivering a single kill. Axile, though, turned to mush at the hands of Magisk. Splashes into the A site. A perfect dive down. Doubles his kills. And for a player who has had so much impact in the last matches of Astralis, this was a slower start. But once the engines fired up, well, the whole show could get rolling. We'll see if they can lock down on this Gambit. That stack at the B site.
What? It's killed everybody.
So far, so good. Nafty, though, he's going to find him. Head turned. However, time is the issue. Gambit know it. They have to go ahead and concede in the 2 versus 2. Magisk, a wonderful exit from the apartments, shattering what was an initial hold. That was a 3v5 win from Astralis, thanks to Magisk.
Yeah, after the first 2 entries down, but that's also a symptom of the fact that they're just gambling. They leave 2 players alone on the site. If they had gotten any information, or even played 3, or peek banana, or regressed, they would have been able to make an informed decision. and instead they relied on this like super strong entry. And of course, Astralis are just going to be able to execute and win most of the time. So I don't know if Gambit want to continue to do that. But it's just not a sexy brand of Counter-Strike. It's for some reason CIS teams, and Navi, old Zeus teams, they love to gamble on Inferno. I don't think there's a lot of reverence for that style of play. And I say CIS teams, Virtus Pro, they would tell you that that's not a good way to play themselves.
Hobbit crawling through smoke. Good flashbang. Hobbit's going to run down deep, dies to Device, who he had already crossed paths. Magisk was just hiding, hoping somebody would save him. His brothers in arms. Device slowly racking up the kills here as well. 12 and 9 at the moment. Got to be cautious. Yep. Up on Shiro.
Operation avoid Shiro, as they just they're trying to game him into rotating, and he hasn't been taking too many aggressive picks. He's just been super solid from the sights at getting multi-frags, which is, shows his insane talent. But once again, Astralis are convincing him to rotate to the wrong site before they hit the other.
Success for Astralis, the A site now consistent.
That's Moto smoked out, lane completely open, and an easy site when they take it.
Yeah, nothing here to stop them at all, but becomes Operation Save Shiro. Make sure that Sniper and Famas move into the next round. Astralis still shooting for a lead. This is very similar to the first half of Vertigo.
Adaptations, that's what's the difficult part, of course. I think on Vertigo, though, I think they had a better game plan at first. Like, they won rounds that were like, they were outplaying them, they were finding the re-aggressions, they were taking more of the rounds into their own hands. Here, they've been getting kind of fortunate. The 1v3 on the pistol, which is a good start for Astralis. The gamble stacks on B, Hobbit going unnoticed. Huge individual plays, the only thing keeping them afloat, really.
Two weapons came into the round, two weapons look to leave. Seems so. Astralis one final chance, but they are going to let them be grandfathered forward. We've got 3 rounds left here on the T side of Astralis. Like you said, what really makes the difference are those very few key moments from Gambit at the start of the half, and we haven't seen those instrumental, individual plays for quite some time now. Astralis kind of running circles around Gambit. Shiro tries to find information down mid. Device looks to challenge. How far does this initial hit go?
Okay, well, it's got Hall's control here. Pushed up with Axel. I wonder if he'll do anything tricky. He's got at the corner of a smoke. This would be a pivotal kill for him to grab. Zipix walking right into his crosshairs. He'll go down. That's a huge opening. Nice tactic.
Frag grenade does a little bit of damage, but Device, he comes out of the corner. Nafany never saw it coming. Hobbit can't see anything at all. Not through the flash, not through the smoke. He backs up slightly as the Astralis get deeper into the B site. The Molotov lands on Hobbit, so he can no longer contest this. And don't forget that all the while, we still have Dupree towards A. If the CTs commit into this, then that last piece of Astralis may be needed.
And they know they don't have to watch their back on Banana now because Dupree has them here. So they can sit out in the open.
And as Dupree gets going, so does Axile, leaving that A site, getting closer to the retake attempt. This could play into the hands of Dupree superbly. We'll see. He's got the back turn to the Opper, but Shiro took down a player right before he died. Magis sprays for 1 kill, and Inters is left on his own now. Flashbang off of the corner. He's got 2 Ts ahead, and he almost lines them up, but Glaive shuts it down, and Astralis within 1.
Nice attempt. I don't even know how Device sneaks into that position. I guess there was a smoke down the top of Banana, but now that they're conceding all of that area, Astralis are using that against them. And the re-aggression into Halls, that's a brave move from Dupree, making sure Axel doesn't stick around or push, and then using that for the ultimate flank. And here it is. That just 1 peek from Device catches them off, and they're a slave to the rotations at that point. They have to come in for the retake, and they haven't been great at them.
An early burst of success that has absolutely fizzled out.
I like that they did the opening. I mean, they had fought here inside of Halls. They got an opening, so it does take the edge off when it comes to B, but instantly that 4v4 makes things tricky. So The point is, though, not to shy away from that, to keep it going a little bit. Let's see if they can, play confidently. They rely on their aim. They've got such even strength across all of these players, and they should try to continue to magnify that concept. Astralis has had to have a lot of experience versus teams like Na'Vi that do these kinds of stacks, though. I think they're starting to catch on to the scent.
Hobbit wants to try and apply a little bit of pressure because of what maybe Astralis is committing to this B site, but he also doesn't run the risk of sticking into the spray too long. You got to remember how good Astralis are at those angles, finding your face through smoke.
There's barely any grenades here for Gambit, so they're looking for a site hold. Not a single kit on the board.
And while they're not playing so proactively into the apartments or Banana, they are still going for these gamble stacks, and this time it is numbers closer to the A site.
Here they're not even stacking, right? They're just playing 2-3, like no site's even particularly overstaffed. If they had 4, we could talk.
Enters inside of the corner. Axile blind for the time being. Famas good for the first one. He's going to lay down the flash. They're focusing forward on him. Axile traces the player down into the pit. Shiro with the combat op dies to Device. It's a man advantage up for Gambit. Fom has to be planted. Magist over towards pit. Cleared off of the situation as Axile comes in with the double and leaves Device in the site, sitting in the 1v3. Molotov on his feet. Nafany runs in, and Gambit find a lead at the end of the CT side.
Oof, they lock it down. That pick kill was everything, man. Winning that duel as that smoke came up. We're watching it from X-Ray as Device is like, listen, I've got to plant. You've got to win that duel. Leaving him alone. And what would have been a 2v2 ends up being a 3-on-1 situation. A nice pit hold here from Axile, again staying alive. He's been pretty consistent at winning at least 1, but here he grabs 2. And now we come into the last round. Gambit have that lead. They kind of asked for the site hit to come in, but if Astralis can see the sites, either one, they would pick. 2 and 3, 2 on Banana, 3 on A. Both are supposed to be reasonable with the right grenades.
Dupree's going to go hunting with the off early on. Misses the initial flick shot. A man advantage for Gambit. Damage both directions. Zipex inside the apartments. A bit of a struggle this game. He is 5 and 10 at the end of this first half.
Axile's got a couple of one-ways.
Cheeky, cheeky. And super sneaky. He just sulks back into the side of the little pit. A very crucial moment for Axile last round, as he was able to hold down on the bicycle. Inters is inside of the site, and Glaive on the side of the wagon. Glaive's going to get hit. Oh wait, Inters kind of lets him slip through. Now there's no pit control here for Gambit, but Inters looks to deliver. Oh, and Device anticipates the peak from Shiro. This is going to be a post plant. One final post plant for Astralis to try and keep this as close as can be. Hobbit, up. Utility for Gambit as well. Looks good. And Device, he's inside of the boiler. Cyclops in. All he needs, that one shot. Hobbit, let's see the clutch. Device is incredibly low, but Hobbit, he doesn't have any damaging grenades. It's that single flashbang. And there's even a player in Zipnik sitting inside the smoke, but it's the apartments from Device that locks it down. A 7th for Astralis at the end of the first half. 8-7 the half. Gambit with a slight lead, but they take to the T side of a map where they are about to get a face full of utility. And if you don't believe me, just look at the buy. 3 frag grenades for Astralis in the pistol.
What is the pace for Gambit? What's the tempo they want to set when they come through with the fiery hot opening kill as Astralis go for the crack peaks? We saw some good pistols out of Gambit. Even when they lost a player early on Vertigo, that, secondary aggression with 4 CTs, Inter's lighting it up. Seen some good stuff. Where is all the utility? Is it all over on the B site? It looks like it is. Where's Zipix?
Yeah, just over there in the back of the site.
Oh, here it comes. Are they entering? It looks like no. Oh, wow. Glaive actually holds it. My God. Has he? Oh, because Magic didn't see him cross. That's actually such a smart setup. He doesn't waste any nade. This is why... Damn, that's actually so efficient. That's part of the setup is Magic's holding that exact angle so Glaive doesn't use his nade too early.
They also haven't seen these players fall back. So, Astralis, full information. They know that they're still sitting outside of it. But even with that knowledge...
And hauls everything.
Glaive begins to walk away. Frag grenade goes deep. And it's decent damage. Magisk finds a headshot. There's further success with the frag. And now they've got these players pinned into the pit, but there's no frags left. Only the flashbang. Kill after kill. Everything coming in here for the favor of Astralis. Only Hobbit with a pistol kill elsewhere. He does get Glaive down to 22. 4 players ahead of him. He goes ahead and takes down Glaive, but Device, hot on the heels, will give Astralis an 8th round, and we're immediately tied up.
That was so sick. That was such a setup. They ate every single grenade. They didn't waste a single one. They spotted for information, like you said, Device down mid the whole time. They had full info whether Gambit knew it or not, and even when they peeked, they couldn't pull any of their utility out. That was disgusting. Looks like Magis is going for a walk. He's crossing the DMZ here. Dangerous spot.
Breeze got himself 2. There's Magis with 1. All MP9 kills. So Astralis absolutely milking the money.
Counter-terrorists win.
Device with the promise to end. Astralis 9-8 early.
Buy-in straight away. Gambit will show us their T side of... We saw a good T side in the first map, right? Then it was the CT side that they... It was Astralis had... Yeah, Astralis were able to go clean on the T side. Seems like their T side on Vertigo is something special right now. This map, of course, it leans T side, and that is why you see a lot of teams play within sight sometimes. It's very hard to stay on for map control, so we'll see if they can abuse that. Oh my God, Device had no idea this was coming. He was just blind, he couldn't hear anything, they wrapped. Oh my God, poor Magis with the shortest gun in the game, alone, looking to squeeze for map control. He'll get one opening kill, but the instant trade for Nafany, this might not even be worth an attempt.
Well, they've got 2 MP9s to lose, but it's everything around it. Another one goes down early. Maybe just put Dupree on exits, make sure Glaive survives as he has that full-fledged buy. A 9th for Gambit. Really kicking up the pace, charging with the tempo, and taking Device down for absolutely free.
That was, yeah, the first flash is great, right? Device is just thinking, man, this is just a pre-flash. I'll come to in a second. As soon as he does, he's getting barrel stuffed.
Like a deer in the headlights.
Yikes.
He had nowhere to go. He embraced his fate.
Very morose picture there. And, yeah, but Astralis can take solace in the fact that they've saved a couple of guns and they can buy again next round. Nice start here for Gambit. Right off the jump, 4 AKs carried forward. Economy here and win off the bomb.
What's the rebuy look like? Glaive could definitely get a rifle. Is it just going to be Dupree? Yeah, he'll hang on to that MP9, but they've got the Oppo device, so now we're in to the full one.
Basically a 19 kill half almost for Device. And this is, of course, a specialty map for Device. Oh, they try to chase him down again. They're going for the exact same setup. They eat a nade in the process. Device will fall back, and now the setup changes a little bit. Dupree coming through with a flash, has an emergency, and does some more damage. There's another player low. Will he go for the trade? Dupree is trying to use his ammo wisely. Will finally reload and fall back, but he's done his due diligence.
To think of all the positions that MP9 was going to be able to be impactful, he flashes himself out from Arch. You know, Gambit, had they gone around onto short, then they would have been met by an additional frag grenade thrown by Magisk up on Balk. Device dodged back into the site as fast as he could. Very fresh on his mind what happens when he stands in the no man's land. Very impactful round here from Dupree. Basically using the MP9 in the best case scenario.
Even if he doesn't get a kill, getting damage, the info on the wrap, it's just opens up the map a lot better there for Astralis, but then does so much more. So it'll be a Hail Mary. Looks like they're trying to sell some kind of fake, but again, disrespecting the map control that's been taken. And Glaive, he doesn't see anything, but he still seems aware or concerned that it could be a B site hit. So there'll only be 2 on the A site, which could be a nice scene here for Hobbit. It's very interesting, and he's actually made a huge rotation around. So this could be a cool strat from Gambit. I kind of like what they're doing here.
Ooh, Zipnix gets pulled off the pillar though.
And the rotations are out. And Hobbit will get a plant on the A site. 10 seconds left, and they haven't killed anybody. Shiro catching the flank, and he gets the kill. They'll have no idea what's going on, but they seem suspicious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so confused. They're inside the site. Inter will get another kill, maybe. No. Okay, full-on retake. Hobbit.
Hiding inside of the Moto. Magisk, you'd think he'd clear this, but he doesn't. Walks right into it, and now Hobbit can go for this last-second reposition. Frag at the feet of Glaive takes him down to 85. Hobbit's going to post up on the angle, and he loses his head. Now it falls onto Shiro, who was last spotted back on Banana, so they should have an inkling. But it's only Glaive with the kit, and he dies. The dink is hit. 13 health for Shiro. Time is of the essence. Dupree with the kill, but not the clock. Gambit. Awesome bomb plant.
That was amazing. They actually pulled that back. That was so sweet. You have to have tons of respect for that round. And the rotation from Hobbit to not just come back to mid, to go all the way around through the back of halls, leaving 2 at the top of Banana. Now for this to work, you have to get kills as well. So the fact that they pulled 1 player off Inters sitting in Banana to get a kill on the entry, that makes a world of difference, because Astralis completely leave the site, where it could have been Hobbit in a 1v1 there. Instead, he got to a spot where he could stop them from rotating in. That's one for the books for Gambit. Really nice play.
It's not every day you see Astralis get out-hustled.
Yeah, definitely.
That right there just goes to tell me, Gambit, they've got some tricks up their sleeve.
That was actually so sick to watch. Firing off. If that's the situation they need to get to, then so be it. They can make it a mid-round if they organize themselves well, but it'll just be about not dying early. That's a bad flash that they trust. Doesn't cover the corner at all.
This is a round that they're working with so little.
Yeah, but they're not doing a good job of avoiding the op.
And Shiro, he could walk right into Vice, who's already posted. Dupree, shotgun up close, doesn't draw the opper in right away. Device still just trying to focus forward, hits Hobbit, again. And then Shiro takes over the angle, but as if Device is ever going to re-peek that. They could push through smoke or challenge onto the A site. A missed flick into pit. Magisk has a molly on him. More utility to come out of Gambit. After big braining the last play, Astralis shows some bronze. Lackluster weapons. Dupree with the shotgun up high, blasts Shiro into the wall, and Inters has everything to do now. 20 seconds to make this magic happen. And well, Dupree looking for the third off the Mag 7. He goes past the smoke. Inters still with a lot of health in the play. 15 seconds. He's going to be able to try and get himself into the back of the site, and now he's tagged. Final few waning moments. Astralis take one back.
That was not a great round for Gambit. To follow up on what was a really amazing round, first of all, Astralis don't have much to work with. Then we go back to the first half. Whenever Ishiro carrying his gun over, what did Astralis do? They avoided him like the plague. They got him to rotate off. Here, Device is opened up on so many angles. He just gets too many free picks. They throw 2 bad flashes and trust them to go for the peaks, which gives Device an easy shot. He doesn't have to walk away. And when you trust a flash, you make the worst peaks ever because you expect the guy to be blind on the other side. So it's almost self-sabotage to do that.
Maybe Astralis picking up the tempo. Ooh. Nice frag grenade.
That's an unfortunate way to lose.
Plus Device boost on the half wall. So he's going to be leaving all the pressure on his own shoulders. Falls off, in fact, before he sees anything so that he can peek wider. Why not? Nafany gets blasted. That 1 AK for Shiro is supposed to be the golden ticket here in the 21st round. Utility pressure here in middle. Flashbangs being dodged. Glaive hopes to hold on, but Gambit, they walk it back.
It'll be a peaceful walk back. Not much points of resistance. Device still sitting on this angle. Babysitting this angle. Like he's getting paid by the minute. He's trying to earn his rate. There should be someone coming soon. They finally get a flash off on him. Just a key window flash to push him back a bit, but eventually they'll just try to go back into the A, which is kind of a blender. They've got a good crossfire here. The 2 Ts will now round the final turns.
Hear this one coming, absolutely. Hobbit to get sidelined by Glaive with the drive-by spray into Inters. Astralis have an 11th. Leading by 1, and the economy of Gambit is non-existent.
They put in for that last round. They get what they can, and now they just have to take a little bit of a seat. Idea to try to score a plant if possible. You know, taking this game really seriously to see like what Gambit have to offer after, because we didn't get to cast either 2-0 Complexity or Cloud9.
Yep.
And, you know, we can see why this team is talked about. I've watched individual demos of Ashiro, of Axile, and you can see where the team aspect shines a little bit, where they can, you know, organize in a mid-round like that to be creative. That's so awesome. I'm glad we have a little bit of a fake pseudo-pause here to talk about this. You know, when you take an opera like Shiro, there's virtually no difference between him and some of these tier 1 operas. He's got the speed, he's got the awareness, he's very careful with it, he hits great shots. You know, he's missing some of the experience to know when the openings can come in, and the team aspect to set him up in the same way Device is being set up, where Device just makes it look so easy. And of course, part of the reason Device doesn't get his roses as much as other players is because the team, again, they're just organized in such a way that they actually shine a spotlight on his op and make it so that he's never has to worry about anything else. But that's just how all teams are supposed to be. He is a star player to slot into that role. Yeah, they're still missing some stuff, but of course, tons of promise here from Gambit.
Try to charge in. They had their little powwow. They sat down and talked about it. Now they're going to get their heads rocked. Obviously, they had so little to contest this with. Hobbit better hope he dies before the round comes to a close. 8 seconds to find him. They could technically just dodge this, milk it down to the wire, but he gets what he wants. A deathbed made by Astralis. 2-round lead. Now it's time to find out what they talked about, what they discussed, and what they formulated in that last round. Let's see it, Gambit. It's now or never.
Hopping on T-side Inferno. It's a brave move. Let's see how they operate around it. Again, everybody wants banana. Some teams are just not good, or not going to let you have it. A couple of rifle rounds we've seen Gambit go for the fast traps. They came away with the first rifle round right up mid into Device's face. Oh, Shiro grabs Device. Where's that kill? Oh, up to the top of mid. A huge opening down. We didn't get to watch it. Is going to be the adjustment here for Astralis down a member.
Looks like they want to get a little more aggressive on banana. We saw tons of utility just expended. But the man advantage not yet upended. Gambit sitting back.
See, immediately getting into a position here at the bottom of banana. Looks like they're setting up for a window flash. Maybe it doesn't come out. No, they're just going to go for the peek. They don't clear out Zipex. However, one kill's there, and Shiro gets the one in the back. That's the round open. They're off to the races. Here is a free plant. No chance at this. Dupree wants to take this into the next round.
T-side op, Launders. It was a question mark at the start of the round.
People are not opping on T-side these days. That's a huge move.
And it works.
Hopefully we can get a second look here. I mean, I know exactly what the pick looks like. He gets up on the stairs, Device peeks out mid. Shiro is holding for it, reads him, gets the kill. But still, then that other trade to the top of car. It's also key for your opper when you're at the bottom of banana is trusting your teammates to clear out all these close angles at the logs and close right cubby. But your opper to not worry about that trade, whatever. If your teammates die, you let them die. You look to car. You make to see if you kill the person at half wall, the person peeking car. And Shiro is aware of that. He's thinking one step ahead.
Very close game. Gambit milking this for what it's worth. We knew they were going to be challengers coming into the playoffs. Their form so strong. And they didn't just win a couple of series. They demolished Complexity.
Shredded, Config said. Shredded.
And when Config says it himself, you know it's real.
Yeah, no, that's respect, reverence across the board. And it sets Astralis up to take this game, all that more seriously. There's no question they're going to be like, oh, this was easy. Oh, we weren't worried. That is not going to be the tone of the post game. And we have a game here. We're not even done with it. They took that pseudo pause. They come out of it. They lose a round, but they win the following. Couple of good kills off of Shiro. How much more can he do on T side? This is the question. How will they set him up? Taking this expensive, heavy piece of utility, very volatile gun into the A apartments.
Flash through the arch side. This is audio cues being given over to the two players from Astralis inside of the site. This is a big fight from Blade. He does not expect the player close. And even with the flash, it's not enough. Now all of a sudden, Astralis, they are going to be attacked on all fronts. Magisk and Dupree putting up the defense. And Magisk still has vision here. Gambit starting to stutter out. Another kill from Magisk, but Dupree goes down. It's Hobbit to try and save the day.
Oh, we got the nade.
More damage.
I think Zipex. He's got the nade for the site. I don't know if he throws it out. It looks like he's holding on to it still. They haven't recovered the bomb. Is that in the hall?
Yeah, it's up in the apartment, but Nafany takes the head. Zipex extends.
Oh, he's off to a new position. This is interesting.
The pressure's all on Hobbit. He needs this third kill in the round. He needs to jump up, and if Zipex catches him in transition, things begin to get awkward, but he dives back behind the cover.
He's holding that nade.
He's got that bomb up. Zipex has the smoke flash frag.
Oh my god. How is he? Is he going around? Yeah, he does. Interesting.
He could dunk it on him. Put that frag grenade off the backboard. Maybe it lands, but now we see Hobbit extend into the depths of the site. He is crouched and probably using that slight gap to keep an eye here on short. Frag and a smoke thrown. Flash goes above. Zipex has a kit. Doesn't know where Hobbit's got off to. And Hobbit, he's just going to crouch, stay as small as possible, hide in the bushes as Zipex tries to clear as much as he can. But desperation begins to sink in. He needs to kill here and now. Zipex unable to get it, and time is of the essence. A crucial round win from Hobbit.
Oh my god, Zipex outplayed in the 1v1, has no idea where Hobbit got off to. With the plan out in the open, assumed that it was some play into pit, and just had nothing ready for that. Thought of course, he knew Graveyard was cleared in that position. I'm so surprised to see him lose in a 1v1. When do you ever see that, first of all? And that's with low HP after doing significant damage. But Gambit, they get the round. There's still money here, however, for Astralis.
Oof, everyone on Astralis had at least 50% headshots in the first half.
That looks really strong.
Yeah, they ain't just sprayers.
Crisp kills and a critical timeout. We've got one more timeout for Astralis.
And what looks like a last buy before they have to save. Gambit pulled that one back. How did they even do that? Getting the trades on the site, things looked really good in the hold. Oh, Nafany's opening kill on Glaive, that was huge. He was blind, he came to, instant snap to the head.
Hobbit as well, clearing the pit player and the initial position from Dupree. That round was absolutely Hobbit's. Considering the kills in that last round,
it's an expensive round though for both sides here. Look at the amount of money. The grenades are a little bit better for Astralis as well, actually. Shiro, this is your call to action. He has totally opened this game back up for Gambit. And he'll need to do even more. Device surely with a bone to pick. And we see Astralis, they found a way to disrespect the bottom of B every single round, whether it's been open or not. Here at least they have top B control, and I think we've just got like something of a coffin splash basically from the back of Oranges, or the back of Emo. For the peak to come out, Shiro blind shot, he just takes it.
Nafany's going to look to slip around on Arch. If Dupree backs up into this, the A site is going to but he turns his head, and that could be a huge opening. Although at the same time, we start to see Glaive peel himself away from the B site. Device is going to be in a high-pressure situation. Lands the first off shot, lays down the molly, gives himself a smoke to work around, and they start to pummel him with utility. We've still got Glaive on the other side of the CT smoke, laying down damage, and all the while, Device is surviving. Smoke is temporary though, so his cover is too. And now the flashes begin to rain in. A perfect frag from Magis stops the bomb plant. Axile, in the depths of the site, dies. Astralis, one round lead.
You see those protocols are absolutely ridiculous from Astralis, staying alive for that long, even after losing their opening. Of course, they catch that timing. Dupree is aware of the thought of a lurker, but still, as soon as I think Nafany turns the corner, he looks away, and it's not even a fair bout. Oh man, that's a huge pickup. Of course, that could have gone both ways. A bit more patience there would have meant the world. It is just pistols here for Gambit, apart from the one MAC-10 in Axile's hands. Really rough situation, but you see how well Device delayed? Oh my god. I mean, the flashes were coming in for him to stay alive. They could not kill him. They could not spam him down back second Oranges, and they were so scared after enough time passed that too many CTs have rotated in, so they don't even feel comfortable using all their ammo in the smoke.
Let's see it, Gambit. Working with the lesser weapons. The challengers versus Astralis. Absolutely proving that their other victories in this event were no flukes. This is a challenge for Astralis. Their hands are full, but the USP from Device to the side of Nafany's face, he brands him. And Device now looking for another, but enters. He has taken a crucial position. Look at this. Oh, he drops the shot! Almost a recovery there from Device. Damage done. And they're going to try to split into this A site. Keep your eyes on Dupree. He's hiding inside of the graveyard stairs. Magis get a distance. How do they get that off into the equation? Shiro, 11 health. Dupree with a double. And now it's on Shiro to try and peel them off. His flash goes high. Dupree denies. 4 kills.
Damn! From the graveyard. They should be the ones in the graveyard when Dupree is done with them. 2 rounds of difference. A close call. Gambit getting the op up on Device. Device not aware that they could have flanked through CT spawn. Love the power play from him to push up with the USP off the corner of the smoke. That was quite an interesting one. The reads are on point, but Dupree, he can handle himself. And Gambit, did they force? They've got no money here.
Yeah, that last round was everything they had.
Jesus.
You mentioned it, right? The economy of Astralis was on the line 2 rounds ago, and well, it applied to Gambit as well. Now they're going to be worse for wear.
And now we've got the 4 rotation 8. Every single round, Astralis have managed to find a way to get banana control.
He's going to be challenged. Zipex here with the crossfire. It is flawless from Astralis. Only Axile left over. He gets tagged up with the Glock. This is going to be 3 map and match points, let's be real. A very good challenge from Gambit, but Astralis starting to put distance between them.
Dubai comes through.
Let's see it.
You got to say, you know, if not for Shiro on this T-side off, they would have had nothing going for them these last few rounds. He's done really, really well to get the kills that he has. But now he's going right back to the AK. Ooh, a little bit of team damage there. That's just not what they need at the moment. Just powers up these M4s a little bit more.
And now is not the time.
Yeah. So one-shot headshot now on Hobbit.
Poor guy's already down there at the bottom of the scoreboard. He only has 12 kills, but 3 of them, some of the most impactful. As he won that clutch on the A site, looks to head there now. He is the only player in the apartments for Gambit.
I finally like that Gambit are trying to contest this a little bit harder, but they're just pretending. They fall back without top B control. Nothing doing here on car. Okay.
Ooh, that hurts.
Let the door hit you on the way out, Astralis say.
And that's Shiro, as you talked about, one of the crucial players of this T side. 3 smokes, 3 flashbangs. That's what Gambit's still working with.
I think Zipix has this. Grenade for top banana. Clave waiting to throw this down. No rotation in. Could be a good opportunity to fight.
Zipix is going to get that first challenge. Finds the headshot. Frag over to the little pit. Clave also going to add a kill to the tally. Unless it's a 3 versus 5. This is it. Astralis looking to eliminate Gambit, and they will. A 16-12 scoreline on Inferno, a challenger that was worth their weight in gold. Impressive wins over Cloud9 and Complexity. That's what Gambit achieved here, and they recognized that this was going to be their biggest challenge.
Yeah.
And now they know what it's like to play against Counter-Strike's very best.
An exciting showing from Gambit, but it was business as usual for Astralis, and we'll be talking shop after this break.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
If you want to know what you're good at, and, well, also what you suck at, check out csgohub.com. Coming!
Welcome back to the DreamHack Masters Winter, and our final quarter-final for the European region is done and dusted. And while Gambit did impress in the contest of Inferno, Goliath Astralis held firm for a coveted spot in the semis. And you know what? They did have to break a sweat here and there because it was an impressive opposition from Gambit recently. It was really interesting to see them changing up their CT game plan. I was expecting them to sit back like they have seen them do in the past, but actually they were contesting Banana quite early.
That's pretty much why they started losing. They just started sitting back. At first they were doing so much to get Banana control. They had got a lot of kills at top of car. They were looking good. And we flip over to Astralis' CT side. You see the version that you're supposed to see. Banana control every single round, and then basically free round wins if you win Banana. But those protocols to get you that map control is what's really important, and that's where most teams fall off and then end up going back into their hopefully gambles and hoping that they can win rounds off of the individual skill alone.
Do you think it was a bit of second guessing or lacking confidence, Scrawny?
Yeah, I think maybe a little lacking confidence with some setups, but it's hard to have confidence when you're playing versus Astralis, and especially on Inferno, and especially after you had a strong start on both maps, only to watch that lead sort of fizzle out a bit. So I think it's an understandable position for Gambit. We do have to remember this is the first time that they've really gone up against a team of this caliber, and they may have been on an incredible hot streak. I think that's where I really kind of want to take a takeaway from Gambit. This isn't the end of them. This is a young roster showing great promise, but that has faced, the end of the road at the hands of even better teams. Astralis, this is not the first team they've knocked out of the tournament. It's not even the best team they've technically knocked out of the tournament.
We are going to take a look at the scoreboard. I just did a little photobomb. I wanted to be on camera. I was jealous of your camera shot. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Axile, he is second from the bottom across both teams, and yet the pistol, the 1v3 pistol. We've got to talk about this, Launders.
Amazing. We did see some individuals pop off with Rashiro in the second half. We had Inters on Vertigo. Anaphany with some of the openings on Vertigo. Axel in that pistol round. They were showing, how they got to this level, that they can perform on that individual level and have some solid stuff about their game plan. Again, I want to look back at their Vertigo smoke that they used on the A site takes. I thought that was very innovative, and it clearly caused problems for Astralis at first. And yes, Astralis are the very best because they can adapt and keep up eventually, but it's still good signs to see that the game plan was strong from the jump.
Are you talking about the CT smoke?
CT smoke.
That was me attempting to throw a smoke.
Oh, would you two-hand it?
I could, if I could, because clearly when I throw it one-handed in game, it doesn't work. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? How does that smoke even work?
Smoking behind default, so they would smoke a wall on the back of the A site, and then one step behind that, where you normally leave because you already have the wall, they were throwing one more smoke into CT spawn. So that's the place where Zipix might stand with an HE grenade and look for a lineup off the pillar to throw a grenade, and suddenly they just can't see. So that smoke isn't meant to stop them from coming in, but it displaces their aim. It makes it so they have no points of reference for throwing their grenades, and that's what the retakes are all about. So I thought it was really cool.
Throws them off tempo a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the playoffs bracket, because we've got news from the B stream. Furia demolished Complexity 2-0, 16-6, then 16-8. Unfortunately, the Juggernaut and the Colossus are both out of the running, but it's always a Dia de Furia. I did actually promise Vinny that I would say Bom Dia on the broadcast. Apologies, Vinny, that I'm late for that one. Disculpe, I think that's how you say sorry in Portuguese. Apologies in English. But they're going to be going up against Astralis.
Oh my god.
That's good.
Well, you're getting a Furia Astral. I mean, this is oh my god. I mean, this is like the most tasty it could ever get. Like, and for the road to get here, okay, we've got the 2-0 versus Gambit, who have taken down the other good teams. We have the 2-0 versus Liquid. We have the 2-0 versus G2 after G2 just beat them. And Astralis are now here to face up against Furia, who just 2-0'd their way through their bracket as well, making mincemeat of every single opponent, including G2 as well. They are looking incredibly strong. These are the two strongest opponents of similar caliber to go up against each other right now.
You know, I think Launders put it really nicely the other day when we had Furia beat G2. That was kind of the proving ground for them to say that they took the success of the North American region from the last 6 months and they put it here into the European soil, taking down G2. G2 have a lot of talent. The members of Astralis have recognized that G2 are one of the heaviest hitters in terms of talent. And we saw Furia go toe-to-toe with the individuals, making them look like chumps on that third map of Nuke. This is it. This is what the Furia European run has been building up to. A match versus Astralis, who have not looked infallible. They are coming from the lower bracket. We can't forget that. Godsent took a series off them. Not just a map, but a series. And while Astralis have looked better, Furia have looked better. And we get them in the semifinals for a grand finals slot. That's
my God.
So sick.
Any inklings as to how it's going to go down?
Yeah, and then, of course, they could potentially meet Mouse or Godsent. Just assuming it's Mouse, that's also going to be such a hot match, either team getting that far. How it's going to go down, you have to ask me tomorrow, Frankie.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just getting very excited out of camera shot. Yeah, I have to ask you tomorrow. I have no idea either, Scorny. Well, this is a button situation.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I think there's still questions actually on this Gambit Godsent match.
Yeah.
That's another one that like we can touch on quickly because it's like, wait, Godsent, they are the real deal. They upset versus Heroic and Astralis. Those are the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams in the world.
Gambit Mouse?
Excuse me, yeah.
Mouse,
Mouse. So, you know.
Yeah, sorry, Godsent Mouse.
Yeah, Godsent Mouse.
I just messed you up.
Listen,
To mess you up again.
You're doing this to make me feel better after I called Stico a heroic player, shall we say, earlier on in
we
the
had
show.
Mouse go up against Woxic, who's a former player for Mouse, and now we have them going up against Godsent and Stico, who used to be a support player for Mouse.
Yeah, so he played with Rops and Chris J.
Yeah, I don't know what Rops. Did he play with Rops? I guess maybe he has.
Yes, he did because he got replaced by Snack. No, he actually played at Star Series in 2018 when Snacks came onto the roster for like a week.
Sure.
And I don't did
Snacks week.
Snacks replace Rops? I don't think he did. It was a week
Let's speculate
after IEM New York. Anyway, we'll do the maths in our own spare time because we've got Nathani from Gambit joining us right now. Brilliant, Nathani. Spasiba, thank you so much for talking to us. Your first big match against Astralis and a huge quarterfinal for you too. How did you and the team find that?
We was a bit nervous on both maps, so it was anyway a good run for us. So we are good.
Did you do anything that wasn't according to plan? If you were nervous,
I mean, we have a good plan on first halves. For example, we was like 7-3 and 7-1 on both maps, but probably after this we make some big mistakes, and our plan go to hell. So.
Yeah, puts it bluntly. Listen, this is your first time versus a team like Astralis. Now that you've played them, if you had a chance to give advice to another upcoming team who might be in your position, what would you maybe say to them?
I guess it's like probably we make all right because every team like us can make same things. Like you should have good plan on the game and you should not be nervous. So that's only 2 things what you need to win Astralis, I guess.
Were you nervous yourself?
I guess yes, because when you win in such team like 7-1, you always a bit scared, like
becoming
you
real.
can lose it or like you think like it's probably you can win it, and when you touch it, it's already failed, I guess.
Nathani, something I was expecting from you and Hobbit on the B site was for you to sit back throughout that first half of Inferno. And you surprised me by being quite aggressive, pushing forward on Banana. That's something we didn't really see from you at DreamHack Open November. And it worked. So why did you start reverting back to sitting on the site and gamble stacking?
because of probably because I was like nervous only because of it, I guess. Because on start of the game I was really confident about, okay, if we lose it, okay, who cares? But when you're winning, you want like be sure that you didn't make mistake and other stuff. So when you're playing more passive, you a bit safety. So.
Nafany, I'm not your coach, but I think you deserve to be more confident. I will tell you that. I also have one more question from me personally. Axile, when does he finish university so he can play for Gambit full time?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. Probably like maybe he need like 3 more years, I guess.
Oh my god.
Oh my
but
god.
I'm not sure.
So he's going to be a part-timer in both studying and Gambit. Can he just defer university? Put it off?
I'm not. I mean, Exile is, as I said before, he is a genius. He can do everything like together. He can study. He can
make his girlfriend happy.
Yeah, sure. So I guess he's a special guy. I don't know like guys like him.
So one thing we don't
in this world.
Oh yeah, for sure, a total a savant.
Only
so
one.
One thing we don't know is how much do you play teams that are in the tier 1 in scrims in practice? How much practice do you get versus better teams?
We make it often. Like we often play versus Heroic, sometimes versus G2. It's okay when we practice versus them. They usually practice versus tier 2 teams, I guess, because they won't play versus tier 1 on prax.
Well,
that's my opinion.
Nafany, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, playoffs here at DreamHack Masters Winter, when you look at the competition here, I think next time we're at an event like this, we're going to expect to see you in the playoffs again, because you definitely impressed all of us here.
Yeah, well done, man.
Well played.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Spasibo.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he's 19.
Yeah,
he's 19. He's in-game leading. He is able to like shred people. I keep using that quote from Blame F, but he's got so many ingredients to be something incredibly special.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he just chalks it up to nerves, which makes perfect sense. Like, things get real. You see the victory coming. We've all been there in a match where you think you're going to lose. Things go really well. And then it's that idea that you're playing safe to win, but you're actually playing to not lose, not to win. And he recognizes that, though, so I'd love to see that rematch.
You saw the difference, right? Nafany standing on top of the sandbags, top banana, gunning down 3 players with the FAMAS. That's a guy who's going to play like it doesn't matter. Nafany then falling into the site to try and hold off what were those full-blown executes. Like, a lot of teams fall into that same problem when it's versus Astralis. The best of the best. So that was their first showing, and I think it was a great one.
Well, a man who's no stranger to cutting terrorists down is Dupree. Hopefully we're going to see him soon. Oh, there he is. Oh, you've lit a candle. Is that in memory of Gambit's place in the playoffs?
No, that's what people might think, but it's just the Christmas calendar thing. Like,
it's Christmas.
I'm a little behind, I have to catch up. So yeah.
So instead of a tree, you've got a candle.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like, you burn like from the top to the bottom, and once you've hit the bottom, it's the 24th, which is the Christmas Eve. So that's what we do.
That sounds incredibly cool, but also incredibly dangerous to leave unaccompanied. Okay, let's talk about the pistol round of Inferno, Dupree, because I just want to ask what was going on. I think it was Device who got the knife out. Is there a particular reason why he tried to knife Axile in the face?
He ran out of bullets.
He did a USB.
Yeah, and he was actually mocking himself, saying, "I'm so stupid picking up." The thing is, when you kill a CT, you feel like, okay, I'm gonna get the pit, like the USP, because then you can one-tap people and everything, get better duels. But eventually, it actually led to you running out of bullets, and that's what happened for Device. So he decided, well, he couldn't really do anything else than trying to rush him with a knife, because we had already decided to group on him and try and kill him. So,
yeah, it didn't look that bad, because it seemed like it was supposed to be over anyways. Can you talk a little bit about your Vertigo T-sides right now? It feels like, I mean, you've got Glaive now coming back to calling, but your T-sides have been really awesome versus Liquid and now versus Gambit. You barely dropped like a few rounds. Are things working really like better than you expected? Is this a map that you've talked about more specifically coming into this tournament? What's going on Vertigo T-side? How are you feeling about it?
I think that Vertigo in general is a map that is kind of random and also can be really hard to play, but also be very easy to play. It really feels like when you get the right type of duels and you understand how the CTs are rotating around, the fact that you can sneak into B, sneak out middle, and like there's so many lurk potentials on that map, and you can also just the fact that A bomb site is so hard to retake, but also so hard to play as CT. You just have so many options as terrorists, and you can just mix it up so fast that you can decide to go do a full A execute where you just have one guy covering the entire flank. You can do it with flanks and everything, and I think that's what we've been working on. Basically, trying to not get caught off so much, and once we get the advantage in the round, like getting a kill or so, it's mainly just about either having people grouping up and then or doing specific plays, which works really well for us.
It also felt individually, you didn't have that many kills to start, but you came close to winning this clutch, and I was like, dupreeh, I feel like he's feeling it right now. Were you feeling it today?
Yeah, I'd say I think the preparation we've done today was really good. Individually wise, I'm just trying to do what I'm good at. I'm trying to relax whenever I play and not like try and add any pressure. I mean, with all this online thing going on and that we've changed the in-game leader and everything going on, pressure is a thing that you have to take into consideration, and I'm just trying to just leave it behind and just be good at what I'm good at. So that's the main focus, and that surely showed yesterday, but also today. So that's great going into the semifinal tomorrow.
Well, you're talking about not dealing or not falling to the pressure, but you guys have been in quite a few elimination games already, right? This is another one of the Astralis lower bracket runs. You've chopped down Liquid, you eliminated G2, excuse me, and now Gambit as well. I'm curious, with your opponents today, right? This is a big run for Gambit. This was an awesome showing for them to be in the playoffs, technically even before you guys. And I'm just curious where you now rate them. You know, which of the three games was this one of the more intimidating? You know, an unknown entity, very talented, and having, of course, some recent results behind them. What is your opinion on Gambit?
I think Gambit has definitely proved themselves in many ways, and I think they had like a 19 map winning streak coming into this one. And obviously, it's been mixed results versus like teams in the top 30, but also teams without of the top 30. So it could be a little bit misleading. But in general, I think they have a really good combination of Hobbit, which has a lot of experience coming from some of the really big teams playing in all over the world, at least in the CIS. And then you have all the talents coming in from Axel and Shio, and I'd say that they have a really good idea of how they want to approach the game, and we've been playing a lot against them in scrims as well. And they are actually a team that has proven to play pretty well, and I'm actually quite surprised that they do so well. And it's great for them to get into the playoffs. But I wouldn't say they played scared today or anything. But at the same time, I just feel like we had full control in the majority of the game, even though it was pretty close. At least when you hit halftime, I still think that we had a really good idea of how to approach everything. And I don't think we felt that the game was as close as it might have looked. So in hindsight, I'm just proud of how the team worked out everything, and that we came up with solutions even when we, especially on Inferno, went into a deficit quite fast in the game. So it was nice to just feel that everyone was trying to find solutions instead of creating problems.
dupreeh, before you go, it has been nearly a year and a half since you last faced Furia, and you will be facing them in the semi-finals, and they're looking epic. They have just smashed Complexity. Are they going to smash you?
That's a hard question. I mean, last time I think we played against Furia, I think they eliminated us, so I think it's our turn to eliminate them now. I don't know, Furia has been playing amazingly throughout the last months, and I think a lot of people has been looking forward to seeing this Astralis versus Furia game, so I think it's going to be really exciting. Yeah, and I don't know where to put it. Like, they are a team that can just explode and just do all kinds of crazy things. I think that's what everyone knows by now, right? And they play some really amazing CS. You can't take that away from them, and they are a team that should be respected in so many ways, but we shouldn't give them too much respect, because then we're just going to lose. So we'll do our best to just continue what we did today, and hopefully we will have a victory tomorrow as well.
Thank you so much for talking to us, dupreeh. Good luck in the semi-finals tomorrow, and don't burn yourself.
I can't promise you that.
He lives dangerously, that one. All right, let's take a look at the ESL Pro Tour, because as teams fall by the wayside, it's good to take a look at the points, because hey, some teams who aren't even playing are affected by how other teams do here. So Heroic, Team Vitality, Astralis, Na'Vi and G2 are all confirmed for having spots in IEM Katowice. If Mouse wins, they gain 400 points, although they've already had some points added for their placement. So in other words, they're not gaining 400 points on top of that 739. So if they do take that top spot, yeah, that takes them ahead of FaceClan.
Yep, it will. And obviously with elimination from Complexity, if Mouse Sports have gained their points for their progress, I'm going to assume that Complexity have as well. In which case, them being eliminated, that's as best as it's going to get. Play-in looks good for them, but I really think, the one team we still have to keep an eye on, I've said it before, it's Mouse Sports that's looking to fly up that leaderboard.
You know how I love to ask you questions, boys?
Sure.
Yeah. So, what is better than a desk of Banks, Pimp, and Maniac?
That's with me, you, and Connery?
Well, that is a good answer. You're actually wrong. And something that is definitely better than Banks, Pimp, and Maniac is Banks, Pimp, and Maniac casting North American Counter-Strike. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebirth versus Triumph is coming up. You'll want to stick around, but we guys will see you tomorrow.
For almost my entire life, playing Counter-Strike was everything, and it was everything I dreamed of. I won trophies, traveled the world, and played in the biggest arenas. I spent my career as a player being asked the same stupid questions
How do you feel?
over and over
What went wrong?
and over again.
You had a terrible CT side. How did you turn it round to take the game? Why are Astralis the best team in the world?
But now I have decided to face a new challenge, to interview the players I once faced on the servers. Because if Frankie can do it, I mean, anyone can do it. Hi Stick, how are you doing, buddy?
Hey, yeah, well, rough day in the office, but I'm trying to manage. But looking forward to the interview.
I want to go way back, when you got the opportunity to join Hellraisers. How did you join that team in the first place?
That's a pretty good question. I used to play with my Czech and Slovakian teammates in a team, and we were kind of doing pretty good job in local scene, and also showing pretty promising results in international tournaments. And that was the time actually when FPL started. We got invited directly into the FPL just based on our recent results, which was, we were kind of the worst players and most unknown players in the FPL back then. I grinded a lot of hours into FPL, and I remember Flasha won that first month of FPL, and I was close behind him, I believe.
Yeah.
After first month, Oscar got invited to Hellraisers to stand in for a couple of games because Adrian and Mo, they were leaving the team, both of them. They needed one more player, and Oscar tried to vouch for me. And that's how we landed on the Hellraisers for a couple of games. I wasn't feeling very comfortable. I was doing already something that I wasn't used to from my previous team. I had no experience doing that against top team, let alone. I had to kind of adapt, and LMBT helped me tremendously with that. So props to him.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, LMBT is. I know he will take some responsibility, you know, like as a father figure as he is, you know, like he likes to help people, even though he sounds like an old, grumpy, old, angry guy time to time.
Yeah.
But okay, so basically in the beginning, Face It Pro League was your entry into the next level, basically, and you show off a great results there at the beginning of 2015. Oscar needed help, and you know him from before, you know, like he wanted to be fine in the team, but since you joined up there, you know, a lot of things happened. It was a lot of changes back and forth. Oscar left, was it a year after almost, and went out to Mousesports. You came along after him. But before that, when things were turning around in Hellraisers, and I remember it like to be around 2017, no, 16 maybe, the end of it, when you had like Bondic, you had also Siri in the team, Angel was there. Who was the last one you were playing with?
I think it was Dead Fox. We managed to qualify for the major back then.
Do you have any like memories regarding that team, like the feeling of now you're showing yourself like potential itself? Do you have any feeling regarding that team specifically?
Yeah, you're right that suddenly we were doing much better than probably we were supposed to on the paper. We were anyway with Oscar with the team. We were always trying to qualify for the major. We were very close, but yet so far we never managed to qualify. And then he left for the Mousesports. And we had to bring in other player, which wasn't star player. I think it was Dead Fox, and basically right after we picked him, we were noticeably worse team, but we managed to qualify for the next major anyway. So it was kind of an accomplishment that we realized, okay, this is how we are working, and it's working okay. But me personally, I felt more comfortable with Oscar in the team, as I was put into the roles where I tried to help him, and we were doing kind of fine. But when he left, it kind of left a void as well, where I was uncertain how I should play my positions, my roles, and what was my actual role in the team. And that kind of hindered my whatever performance, whatever. And I found it back once I joined Mousesports, basically. So I was on the like downward spiral since Oscar left Hellraisers. We were still doing okay, but I didn't feel really comfortable, to be honest. We were having a lot of roster changes as well. There were a bunch of players trying to come in, trying to come out, and it wasn't clicking very well. So eventually the offer from Mousesports came, and I took it, even though if I don't remember if it was public knowledge, but I wasn't the first who were supposed to join. It was Sunny and Mixwell, but I think Mixwell turned down the offer, so they approached me after.
How would you describe that time with that team? Because it felt like it was always going upward, but then somehow you crashed and burned sometimes, and then all of a sudden you went up again. You were like, what's happening in this team?
Yeah, that's true. I think we were a lot of there was a lot of dependence on the mood of the team and or basically the flow, how we are mentally prepared. Sometimes we were really tired after 3 tournaments in a row, consecutive traveling from one continent to another, and usually the last tournament was just a complete blowout by us, not because we didn't try or anything, but it was just too tough for us to be that far and compete for so long without any real break, and it was a tough schedule that got to us basically.
At the same time, somehow the spiral went downwards and you got replaced by Snacks later on, which was kind of a shocking news to a lot of people, because at least how I looked on that team, you were one of the pillars in the team that was necessary for it to work.
It was very odd for me. We were attending Belo Horizonte tournament by ESL, and Oscar couldn't go because whatever reason. I think it was health reason. So we brought in Nothing as a stand-in for the tournament. I was having a great turn. I think I was having a good tournament. I felt comfortable. Everything was on point. We beat MIBR, or back then I think they were SK. I have no idea. In front of the home crowd. So it felt amazing. It was one of the highlights of my personal career. You see the audience cheering for them, but you still shut them down. Yeah. It was a great tournament. So after the tournament, I received a message that the guys in the team decided to bench me, and I don't know what happened there. I don't know who suggested it at first, but I think it was kind of unfortunate timing. And now, but the whole nature of being benched felt really odd to me. I don't think it was handled well from their point of view, because it wasn't like team meeting, whatever. Team didn't tell me. I just got told from management that they're trying out to look out for other player, and the Snacks was one of the options. He's important part of every team he has ever been, but you can't tell the guy how to play the game. And you have to let him do the plays. You have to let him have his own free space, which is something that I was always willing to sacrifice, because you can't have 5 players with the freedom running around the map and hoping for the winning duels. It will work once in 5 games, but this is not how you build a consistent team.
But between that, you went to C9 for a little bit, helping them out there, and then God sent Now Time being. It's a quite interesting project, if you ask me. You're supposed to be a little bit more like a star player now then. Like you're taking a little bit more bigger roles than you did before. You're taking more stand of yourself. But how did that team created in the beginning? Because in the beginning it was like Thomas, Michael Ele, you, Sen.
It was with Nuki as well. Crystal was there all the time. Michael Ele and Crystal was there all the time, but before Thomas came in, there was a Nuki. It's kind of funny story how it all got created or whatever. I got benched in Mousesports. I took 2 weeks off that I tried to sit down and think, what the hell am I doing with my life? I wanted to stay away from PC for a little bit. And after I came back, it took 1 FPL game for me to get on this team. I was having offers that I wasn't really interested in, but I was still in Mousesports. There was no big team interested in me that would buy me out. So I was on the bench, and only option for me was to play for the team without an organization, right? And these guys were having no organization. I was teammate with Michael Ele on that FPL game, and it was probably my only game in that year. Played 1 game, and after that he said, hey, you want to go on a team? I really liked how you combed, how you played, how you behaved with your teammates, whatever. And I said, yeah, let's try it. I mean, you have no organization. I'm still benched in Mousesports, so I'm going to just try it out and see how it goes. It's better than me playing FPL. I would rather play in a team, even if we're not the best team in the world. Obviously, we're just a mixed team, but still, the team CS is a drug to me, you know?
Yeah.
You want to play that as much as you want. Yeah, it was an interesting time, definitely. So I'm saying one FPL game brought me back into the scene, and one FPL month brought me into the scene in the first place in 2015, right?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Because I want to know more. I'm like so deep in it because I fucking love that thing. Should probably remove that. They would probably fix it. I don't know. But still, like, that for with the team, because you've done 2 changes, like big changes in the team. When Farley came into the team, you could see like the changes are becoming so much better with it, because now you get a dedicated opera who's really talented and really good with it. And now the recent one with Emmy joining the team or standing in for the team for Crystal is just benched. How do you see yourself, like, just for the Masters tournament, like the potential? Do you see like you can go far with that because of the little practice you had? Or is this just a trying point for you guys to see how it goes with him as the new captain for the time being?
It's a great question, because if I look at the practice right now, how the scrims are going, compared to when we had Crystal on the team, it's going like much better, like 50% better at least. And we're playing with Emmy for such a short period of time that it shouldn't even be this way. But it is, because we feel more confident, we feel more comfortable. He's doing pretty good calling, I would say. Even mid-round, he's organizing well. We're trying to pick up the pieces where we left off with Crystal, and also Emmy is trying to bring out a lot of new stuff. So if you ask me how I think it's going to go in the DreamHack Masters, I'm going to answer you just with one sentence, and that is, if you're going to play like in practice, we're going to get deep into the tournament. Meanwhile, if we're going to stress ourselves with, let's say, too much pressure, overcalling, undercalling, overcalling, we're gonna get in trouble even against lesser teams. And we're facing Astralis in the first round, and we have basically nothing to lose. I mean, not first round, but yeah, you know what I mean, in the group's opener. So this is something that, like, we're gonna be heavy underdogs. We know it, everyone knows it, and I'm just only guy that can be pressured here is Emmy, because he might feel like, okay, if we're gonna bomb 2 tournaments in a row on last place or whatever, they're not gonna sign me, they're not gonna whatever. But this is not how we look at it. We're just literally trying him out and seeing if he's doing any better than our previous lineup, which for now I can proudly say that yes, he's doing a better job with us as teammates, us as a players, and us as a game, whatever whole structure thing. So. Depends on our mindset, I guess, that how we're gonna do well. But having Astralis in the first round is something that we're gonna just enjoy the game and hopefully not lose 1v4 3 times in the best of 3.
No, I'm pretty sure you're one of those few teams that know to not throw that too many times. I've been in one of those teams, so we did it too many times. I was just eventually just used it, so I'm like, oh, we just lost the 1v4, it's fine. We had the pistol, we had the ops, everything, but it's okay. 1v4 again, okay, it is what it is. Can we lose also against Glocks? Yeah, it's gonna happen as well. It's just part of the game. Did we win the game? Yeah, we won after 5 overtimes, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for having me, Stiko, and good luck on Masters.
Thanks for having me.
Seen the days in the dark too long, all the gray between the right and wrong. Takes a warrior to sing this song. When the glory and the pain is gone, it's the failures that make you strong. Can you see the path you're walking on? We're moving up in the world. We're moving up in the world. We're moving up in the world. We're moving up. This is a warrior's world. This is a warrior's world. too long. All the gray between the right and wrong. Takes a warrior to sing this song. When the glory and the pain is gone, it's the failures that make you strong. And can you see the path you're walking on? We're moving up in the world. We're moving up in the world. We're moving up in the world. We're moving up. This is a warrior's world. This is a warrior's world. This is a warrior's world. This is a warrior's world.
Don't look away. Send a display. All eyes on me. Don't even blink. In the presence of kings, bow down to me. I'm everything and more than you'll ever be. Nobody can stop me, it's destiny. You don't ever want me as an enemy, yeah. Don't look away. All eyes on me.
We were